How's it going, people? And welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Tutto Calcio podcast, everybody. Big up to everybody that's going to be in the chat today. We have lots to uncover, as well as match day 1 has just ended. So big up to everybody as well. And Serie A is back, people. Serie A is back. The chaos is back, and we have lots to uncover. We have 2 special guests joining us today. We have a Milan fan and a Napoli fan. We're going to start with Ken. How did you become a Napoli fan? We're going to get straight into it.
I mean, my family's from Naples, so it was pretty easy for me to become a Napoli fan. So it was hard for me to watch them growing up just because of the availability of Serie A, as I was a teenager and young adult. Probably got back into the team like 2008, 2009, and been pretty active on Twitter, minus the last couple of years since then. So, it's been my journey with Napoli for the last 15-ish years.
Yeah. So how did you become what was your memorable moment? Like, what was your most memorable moment as a Napoli fan?
There's a bunch in the last 10 years. Some better than others or had better ends than others. Koulibaly's goal versus Juventus. Napoli 5-1 against Juventus.
Oof.
I was there. I think Tom was also there.
Yeah.
Winning 2 Scudetti the last 4-ish season, 3.5, whatever it is, the last few years has been obviously huge for any Napoli fan. So as an adult, seeing 2 titles in quick succession has been pretty amazing. So just some quick highlights. I could go on and on and on, but those are the tippity top right now.
Yeah. Anybody else want to ask Ken any questions about how you became a Napoli fan, or anybody? Leo?
Yeah, I got one. What's your who's your favorite Napoli player of all time, and who's your current favorite Napoli player?
Okay, so I feel like whenever anyone asks this question, I take Maradona out of the mix because it's an easy answer, and obviously like we get it. But like for me, my favorite player like in contemporary Napoli is probably Edinson Cavani. I feel like he was one of the drivers of bringing hope back to the team. 2010, 11, 12. I feel like he was a big proponent of that. And then now I feel like right now that you ask me today, I think Vergara has to be my favorite Napoli player.
Wow.
At the moment.
Wow.
I feel like if you asked me like a year ago, obviously it would have been like McTominay, but I think Vergara is actually going to be pretty special. I think if he's given opportunities, he's going to shine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes.
Ken, that's big props for the youngster right there. That's impressive, to hear.
He was beautiful yesterday, and I was in the stadium for his goal against Chelsea last year in the Champions League, and I think it's probably the best goal I've ever seen in person. So I'm putting all my chips in on Vergara this year.
Yeah, we had a little discussion about homegrown talent last episode, about like I think it's pretty important that Napoli start producing academy talent. And I think that Vergara being an academy player, I think he can really spark up that, that drive for younger talents that are under him to, come up the ranks. So
and he's coming in at the perfect time because he's been a great soldier, but it's Politano's time to move on.
Trust me, we're all dying to see the moment he takes over full time.
Yes, sir.
But Ken, I was doing some research. I was stalking your little X profile, and I saw you're a big Giants fan, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm not gonna get trolled or lauded. It's either is fine.
I'm gonna give you a tough question here. I mean, it is Tutto Calcio. You're gonna be biased, of course, right? But what would be more important to you right now, seeing Napoli win the Champions League or us winning a Super Bowl back again?
That should be easy.
See, I was mentally preparing for this question to be Napoli winning the Scudetto or the Giants winning the Super Bowl again, because that would have been easy. Napoli's won 2 Scudetto recently, so I would have easily said Giants Super Bowl, but no, I think I have to go Champions League. Napoli winning the Champions League would be actually insane. That would be absolutely insane. As much as I love the Giants and like them winning the Super Bowl now would also be insane, but the Napoli winning the Champions League the way that European football is currently constructed would be absolutely bomb.
I would sacrifice not seeing the Giants win a game for the rest of my life for Napoli winning.
I would say so too. I would say so too.
And that Super Bowl, you're gonna have to run for the Bears. Just letting you know. The Bears.
I kind of teed it up for you there, Ken. But I feel like we speak for all Napoli and Giants fans. Definitely seeing Napoli win a Champions League would be so monumental to the point where I feel like the world would just collapse.
I don't know what would happen. You saw what happened when we won the Scudetto. If we won a Champions League, like I said, given the competition in Europe right now, I have no idea what would happen.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right. Anyone else have any questions for Ken?
It's not necessarily a question, but it's more like I want to double up on the Vergara take, which I fully agree, because that guy he's the future, not just of Napoli, but of Italy. Like, he's the future of the national team. Him, and of course, I have to add my boy Pizzilli in there. I rate him highly. Like, genuinely, like, even as a Roma fan, you gotta tip your hat off to this kid. Like, he got it. He's got it. Future Roma superstar, though. Roma superstar. We've seen it.
Fun fact, there's quite a few, too many in my book, that were all about selling Vergara in the summer and cashing in and reinvesting. And I was like,
absolute crazy talk.
That is insane.
He's just got something about him that's a little magic, He's not the most technically gifted. He's not the fastest, but he just has a little magic in the way he plays.
When that kid just recently had started and went into the Champions League and scored that wonder goal, I was like, yo, this kid could be special under the right coach. He scored it
right into my face. He scored it into my face. I was so close. It was amazing. Wow. It was the best goal I've ever seen in person, like at the stadium.
Most definitely. Yeah. All right, let's move into our second special guest, Max. Max, our Milan representative for tonight, Max. Yeah. And if you've seen the show, Milan, Max, I have so much love for Milan. I do. So me and you're gonna have a lot of fun tonight.
Don't fall for it.
I'm messing with you, man. I'm messing with you. So, yo, brother, tell us how you became a Milan fan.
So yeah, my Baba, he's a massive Milan fan, and there was no option other than to be a Milan fan in my house. So there's no option, no chance. They immigrated from Sicily when they were very young, so I have some very sort of tied roots to Sicily as it is. But they are Milan fans, and that's where I am. My other half of the family are all Juventini, so it's very rare that me and my dad can talk football in my granddad's house. So yeah, that's where it all comes from, family as per usual. And what more of a historic club can you get than Milan in Europe? So yeah, 100%.
Awesome, brother. At what age you became a Milan fan?
I don't know, 5, 6. I think I was born and they put a Milan shirt on me, so I don't know.
And how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
How old am I? 35.
Okay, so when Milan won that Champions League in 2007, how old were you?
Oh, 15, 16.
Okay. All right, great. Rayna, you could celebrate it because you.
Yeah,
remember.
Of course.
Yeah, some Milan fans. There's some Milan fans that are like 4 years old out here saying that they witnessed it. I'm like, well, okay, all right, buddy.
No. If you ask me what my memorable moment is, I'll tell you, which is the Champions League before that, the one we won in 2002. That is my biggest, most amazing football memory ever at Old Trafford. One of the most Italian Champions League finals in the universe, where two great defensive sides cancelled each other out essentially until penalties, and then obviously we won. And I'm sorry, but that is my absolute 100%. Nothing will ever be beating Juve in a Champions League final for me. Nothing. So yeah.
Respect.
I like this
guy.
Wow.
Wow.
Happens a lot for Juve, man. Them boys don't win Champions League finals, man.
Yeah, talking about your club, they can't even make a final appearance, bro. You over here
Talking about your club. You're not even in the Champions League this season, brother.
Listen, we'll let them have fun. Let them have fun. Let's see what they do.
You know, I want to ask you something, right? I'm surprised, you know, that you're a Milan fan, especially family being from South Italy. Most of them are Juventus fans, you know, like the son host over here. You know, especially the ones from Sicily,
absolutely.
man. Like, wow.
Yeah, they are.
I'm surprised, man. So shout out to you, man. Shout out to you guys.
Most of my family are Juve fans, to be fair. It's literally my dad, me, and my brother. We're like the solo Milan fans of the clan.
Yo. You know what I mean? Like, no, but shout out to you guys, you know, going against the grain, you know, not picking the evil empire that is Juventus, man. So shout out.
I like how I started that trend about you guys being the dark side, the evil empire.
And I
embrace
it. I love it.
You guys just have a bunch of Sith lords out there, Sith lords on Twitter, just the Sith.
Well, no. They're not even Sith. They're more like stormtroopers. You know, just I don't know. You know, they're getting taking orders and stuff like that. You know, I mean, just tweeting on Twitter and stuff like that. So yeah, you know, it is what it is with them.
Locatelli generals.
All right. Anybody else have any other questions for Max before we start?
I do, yes. Since you're old enough, I feel like you could name your favorite player from each decade, starting from the 90s. 90s, 2000s is a tough task. It is a tough task because you guys have had a lot of legendary players. But 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s.
That's a good-ass question.
Right. Okay. I'll start nice and easy. 90s, Paolo Maldini, Il Capitano. I mean, where better to start than that? Early 2000s, or 2000s in general, probably Kaká. It's probably my favourite, probably best player there. 2010s, I mean, Christ, it's like looking down the barrel of a 2010, like pure banter era. I mean, we started well in the first couple of years, then it all went down here. Who's my favourite player of 2010s? I'm gonna go Ibrahimovic for the first couple of years of it, helping us win the Scudetto, and then 2020s as well.
Right.
Man, there's some garbage players at Milan in the 2020s to try and pick.
I saw this one tweet about it was a lineup in the Europa League, and I was like, wow, what a mid squad that was, bro.
What about that one winger from Portugal?
Oh, yeah. I've got.
Oh boy.
I started by loving Leao, and I was like proper like agenda driven. No one disses Leao. He is what he is. Now I'm like, nah, man, you can go. You can literally walk out the door. If you're going to tell someone in a barbecue you're going to play in the Premier League, you're done. I think my favourite player in the 2020s is probably going to be. I'm going to go. Teo Hernandez, I think, just for his absolute tenacity on that left wing back role, and for all the banter and all the stuff, extracurricular activities. Let's put it that way. There you go.
Easy player to hate if you're not on your team.
I'm surprised.
Yeah,
I'm surprised they didn't say Kaisuke Honda for the 2010s. You know.
Oh my God!
Wow. You read that one, George.
Wow.
Unfortunately, I watched Kazuki Honda in the 2010s, so there's no chance.
I know.
Literally.
You have a question up here, Matt.
Go on.
You have a question right there for you, brother.
Which same level as R9 be considered GOAT state? Oh, I don't know about R9. Christ. Yeah, I mean, no injuries. Pato is a revelation player. I mean, I think it's 16 scores on his debut versus Napoli in that 5-2 win, I think it was. Yeah, brilliant player. Absolutely could have reached something near there, but not R9 level. No way. As a Milan fan, you have to give credit where it's due. R9 was another level.
That's Daniel Marlin's spot. We'll go on that.
Big up donation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Both Milan teams and Roma is what I'm considering the most. Lazio is on the outside looking in, and the way Napoli played this past weekend, they almost put me to sleep. Like I said, Gio, Juventus are bums, straight dumpster juice. Wow. You guys ever?
I don't like this comment at all, but thank you for the donation.
I like it a lot.
I don't like it at all.
Dumpster juice is what has that like nasty smell
Oh, yeah.
to it. That just
Oh, my
sticks
God.
to your
He didn't even
clothes
say
and has
dumpster fire. He didn't even say fire. Like, he's a juice. He's the most nasty part of it. The most
Dumpster
nasty
juice.
part.
You know, someone who worked at a grocery store for a long time in the summer, you know, they compact the dumpster and it squeezes
bro.
out that nasty shit. Excuse my language.
Yeah,
in the
I
bottom
like
of
this
the-
coming. I completely agree with
You know,
the last part of it.
in the juice. Ugh. No one wants to be dumpster juice, bro.
Appreciate the donation against brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Listen, guys, we're gonna go straight into Milan. Max, open it up. What are we gonna talk about when it comes to Milan? You guys had an impressive match. First game under your new manager, and I like what I saw. New faces in the starting lineup. Look pretty impressive. Tell me what you got.
So I think when you saw the starting formation or the rumored starting formation through the Gazzetta, I was a little bit like, how have you spent 150 million plus euros to still roll out Musa, Stepinian and Ruben Loftus-Cheek? And I was a little bit concerned about what that might look like, to be honest. I know that a couple of players weren't quite ready. A couple of players had come back late. But seeing Manyan start, I thought Torriani would get a nod at least for a season opener, but he didn't. And as we know through the summer, it's actually Milan's had quite a struggle in the friendlies. It's only the United one that they really managed to do anything in. And Amram was taking a while to get it to stick. But I have to say, after watching that Brexit ball Allegri style football for an entire season, paint stripping, public toilet bad football, it was great to actually watch Milan pass the ball around nicely, intricate sort of three-way passing, great crossing, really good system actually that works with the players that it has, even with the likes of some of the sort of lower quality players. I guess to sort of summarise the game, Milan dominated the game quite nicely, actually quite well, even with the subpar quality. And then I think as soon as he kind of rolled the dice and stuck Rabiot and Modric on, everything changed completely. Rabiot with like a sensational 5 minutes to show Ruben Loftus-Cheek how to play football. A bit of an education, really. Again, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, 4th season in a Milan shirt. I think it's like a Make-A-Wish player or some sort of charity foundation, but we're there. So, yeah, look, Rabiot comes on, completely changes the game. In fact, like really good, exquisite play from Musa, who I've like criticised a lot. Great footwork, straight through, down to Rabiot, great cross in the middle. And then Cisse, 19-year-old Italian, with a fantastic touch and finish. Really good goal, well taken, actually. 1-0, back of the net. A couple of minutes later, it's another really good bit of play. Modric over to like a revitalised Chukwueze on that right wing back position. Great ball over the top, and then Rabiot's there to sort of smash it in. It's 2-0. And I think that was it. That's in essence what we want to see. We want to see those wing backs pushing high. We want to see those crosses into the area. Although Ramos didn't score, actually he looked quite good, I thought. Really good at holding up the play, really composed. Yeah, so great game. I think the quality really started to show though in the last 10 minutes when he started subbing like everyone on, and like Gabbia struggled a little bit when he came on for Duenta. Bartazaghi didn't. I mean, Stepinian again questionable whether he was an actual professional footballer, but Bartazaghi came on and struggled a little as well. So I think the game was okay. The last 10 minutes not good defensively, really shaky actually. And then Torino had a good chance to get back in the game. Torino's number 92. Well, his name eludes me, but he looked really good. I think he hit the post, beat Manyan and hit the post. And then I think, is it Shea Adams with like an absolute weldy out of nowhere? Manyan like absolutely rooted to the spot. Like what a goal that was! Like just not expecting to turn on the volley like that. 2-1. Milan sort of edge out the game, and I think for us Milan fans who've like sort of witnessed the horrors of last season, spending 95% of the time in the Champions League spots and then somehow still didn't qualify, it was just nice to watch a game of football and feel in control, not waiting for someone to come at us. I think some of the things that Jerry Cardinale and co said was we want to play not to lose, we want to play to win, and we definitely saw a little bit of that in this Torino game. Now, I've been a Milan fan for a very long time, as you guys have pointed out, making me name players from the 90s. But what's really clear is it's only one game. There's some Milan fans, especially in like Twitter, like we were talking about earlier, who just go off on like these tangents because we've won one game against Torino away. So there's still time. Lots of calma is what I'd say to Milan fans. Amorim needs some time to kind of implement the system. But I guess the last thing for me to say is if they back Amorim and they buy him the quality that he needs, we might be all right. But Scudetto, absolutely no chance. Maybe top 4. So I guess that's how I analyse the game. Great game from Cisse. Great game from Chukwueze. Solid overall, I think.
Definitely, I was about to say that Chukwueze, for me, I was highly impressed with what he did. I think he had a very good game. I also think that Milan, with this new coach, no one really knew. He's new to the league, right? New coach, new tactics. I think with Milan, you have to wait and see as managers review tape and they study Milan, and to see if Mourinho knows how to adjust when he gets figured out. But to summarize it from my take is an impressive start for you guys. It seems that he has his player selections down and he's playing these players to the best of their ability. He's finding their strengths. Towards the end, you guys did kind of like sit back, but to be honest, I don't think there's anything wrong with sitting back once you have a few goal lead. So overall, what Milan was doing last season, they made some big purchases. Still remains to be seen some of these purchases being worth the money spent, but Milan are in my opinion stronger this season than they were last. You also didn't have key players out there like Pulisic. You didn't have Captain America out there, so they weren't even at full force. With Milan, I would say let's wait and see, but definitely I have them as a top 4 contender. I mean, I don't think anyone in the room doesn't see Milan pushing for top 4. That's pretty much what I got. Well, you guys got anything for Max? Any of the panel members? Any questions, comments?
You did it dirty against one of your own against Abate, though. I didn't. This is the news, I was like, wow. I didn't even realize until the match that he was Torino's coach. I'm not gonna lie. And I was like, what the? But dang.
Yeah,
it was a domination. It wasn't a game at all till the very end.
He did a good job at, was it Juve Stabia last season in Serie B? So they plucked him up. And he did a really good job with Milan's youth team as well. I think we played is it like the Champions League equivalent of the youth league or something, where they lost against Olympiacos. So Abate has done quite well and sort of when he's been given the chance. I'm not surprised to see him at Torino, to be fair.
Yeah. I just want to pop this up, fandom. When we get to the Napoli take, we're going to talk about that. I marked your comment, but we're going to definitely be talking about that. So don't feel like your comments was ignored, brother.
I have a quick question for Max. Max, you brought in a lot of players, right? Like you said in the transfer market. It could be a present player or a player that you just brought in, but who do you think is going to be the X factor for you guys moving forward? Who do you think is going to be that key player? Like in the past, it's been kind of like Leao, sometimes Pulisic. Who do you think is going to be that key player for you guys?
It's a really difficult one because Ramos cost 75 million plus bonuses, and that's Milan's record signing. So he has to score loads of goals. Like if he doesn't score more than 10, 15 goals, it's a waste of money, really. He has to hit the ground running. I'd like to say it's Ramos. I'd like to say he is the missing piece from the last 3 or 4 seasons, a competent, decent, proper number 9. So I'm hoping it's Ramos, fingers crossed. I do like the look of Cisse, not just from the game against Torino, but he did some really good things in Serie B last season, and he's only 19, and he looked incredibly composed on the ball. He barely missed a beat, didn't lose possession, which is something Leao was really bad at. Just simple loss of possession, Leao in the final third, whereas Cisse looked much stronger. So I think Ramos is your safe bet for the price, and he has to hit the ground running. But I think Cisse is a dark horse in terms of could be a really good player this season. Change something.
Right on. You got a comment here. I wanted to bring it up. I'll let you address it, Max, and then I got something to say about that.
And and I think that's a really good point. All that money spent in maybe top 4. But unfortunately, and I don't want to go into a massive rant about this stuff like I do on my podcast, but Milan has been built so badly over the last few seasons by people that have no idea what they're doing, people in roles to financially make money, that the team has been built. It's not matched to formation. It's not matched to manager. It's almost been like opportunities and what's in the market, and we can just slab 40 million on an absolutely useless player like Nkunku that doesn't match our system whatsoever. So I think we could spend another 150 million and still be saying we might reach the top 4 because we still have so many gaps in this team. And I think the difference from last year as well, we have to play Europa League. So I hate the Europa League. I think it's a pointless trophy, but we have to go and play that. So unfortunately, it's going to be a difficult season. And 150 million spent, but only on 3 players. You know, Ramos, Moriera, who I've never heard of until we spent 50 million on him, and then Healer, who is a safe bet in my opinion. So, yeah, I think there's a bit of context around it, but yes, still, I think maybe top 4.
So what I got with this is, all that money was spent, but you also got to look at the competition around. You spend all that money, I get it, but right now I don't see anyone giving Inter a fight. They're stacked. They're starting 11 stacked. Their bench is stacked, and even after spending all that money for a team that really they ended up in what, 5th? You guys ended up in 5th, right? And I feel that if Milan were to end the season in top 4, it would be a success. Yes, if they don't win any trophies, I understand it, but you got to look at what's around. Yeah. I mean, look at what Roma did today. They've been investing for a while now. Milan, with a new coach, I see that they just started a project. They're not rebuilding, but they just started a project. They're going to get the dead weight out, bring the new faces in that fit the project. So that takes a while. So that's what I got on that. You guys got anything on this? On this comment? Would you think it would be after all that money spent to make top 4 would be unsuccessful?
I think it would be good, personally.
No, that's kind of an unfair assessment, considering
I mean, it depends on what you mean success. Top 4 as top 4 standard. I think, it depends. Obviously, they spent a lot. I don't think we can deny that they did spend a lot of money. I think they have to get top 4 after that. But of course, it is. Dom makes a good point. It is not going to be an easy one just because you spend a lot of money. We've seen a lot of clubs, not just in Serie A, but in other leagues as well. Just because you spend a lot of money, that does not guarantee success. You have to actually, make use of that money correctly. You have to make use of those players. The coach has to get it right. But I think making top 4, I think Milan, after missing on top 4 twice in the last 2 seasons, I think they have to at least make it. And then, if they can, let's say maybe pick up a Europa League trophy along the way. Although it is worth noting maybe that if you win Europa League, you do get Champions League football automatically, regardless of where you finish. But the thing is, do you want to, as Milan, bank on that? Or do you actually, Max, I may ask you, let's say you're in this situation in April, right? You're not really solidified top 4, but you're still around, I guess, it would be quarterfinals or semi-quarterfinals in the Europa League. Would you then push for top 4? Or at that point, or would you try to push and win the Europa League? Because Europa League, will get you top Champions League anyway. So what would you do if that's the scenario?
Well, it's hard, isn't it? Because Europa League's a trophy. We haven't won one for a while. And you go into the Champions League. But in terms of a safer bet, I think it'd be to concentrate on Serie A and make sure we come into the top 4 and qualify that way, because the cup competitions, one day you could have a storm or one day you could have an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, there's more risk there. You never know.
So I think, I'd go Serie A, I think.
Yeah, Europa League is the ultimate wait and see for teams that are on the fringes of Champions League. Oh, we're sitting 6th, but we're in the last 8 of the Europa League. Time to shift our focus.
No,
Now
yeah,
try
like
to win
if you're
Europa
very
League.
far away from top 4, I think you'll have to gamble of Europa League at that point. But like, I think if you're
Yeah.
still in the mix, if you're like a few points away, I think safer bet would definitely be to try to get Champions League football that way.
Yeah, and I mean, investing the money into Milan is obviously top 4 should be a standard, but I think in this season, like last season, from like 2nd to like 7th it could go any way. You have Juve, Napoli, Milan, Roma, Como, Atalanta, all to me in the mix to make top 4. So it could be one of those years where there's like 5 points for, or with like 2 or 3 teams looking for one spot at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, based on what y'all said, I don't think it's kind of unfair to try and downplay getting top 4, especially the last 2 years for Milan. And because there's good competition, Napoli, Roma, even the Comos and stuff like that. So I think getting top 4 would be great. It would be a good season. It depends on how you get it. If you squeak through, then maybe a bit. But if you smooth sail into it, that would be great. And Europa League kind of depends again on how you're doing in the season. You might tank the Europa League, might go and win it. Who knows? That's kind of a mid factor. But if you get top 4, I think that will be a good season. I think that comment's a bit harsh towards that. So.
Yeah. All right. You got moving into if you guys got nothing else for Milan, we're gonna move into Inter. They're adoring cousins. And,
well, I gotta say that Shea Adams goal was amazing. Like that was some like standing overhead kick or something.
Yeah,
I
it
haven't seen
was
that in a while.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Crazy goal.
all right, Doodle, what you got, brother? Open it up. You got. The
I
Inter
mean,
floor.
well, Inter, this road to number 22 has officially begun. Opening day win against newly promoted Monza, 4-1. I actually have a lot of positives to say, and I have some negatives to highlight as well. So positives, obviously, 3 points. Start the season off with 3 points. That's ultimately what matters at the end of the day. So that was a good one. And we did manage to score. One major positive has to be Pio Esposito's game. He, for me, put in, one of the better performances that I've seen from him so far. And he's still very young, like a true center forward performance. His goal, like the back heel, the way he just, controlled the ball, the way he just, flicked it in with the back of his foot was just, unbelievable. The way he was just bullying the defenders, the way his hold up play, his assist as well, like, very complete performance from Pio. And I'm really, really intrigued to see. I really think he's going to have a big season this season. Like, I really think that he's going to push. I don't know if he's going to be a starter, but I think he's going to push every other striker that we have throughout the season. And I think he will make big claims to maybe potentially start even some big matches during the season, as long as he remains fit, as long as he remains healthy. But I really think this kid, like, he's special. Like, he's not a flashy player. He's not going to be like, he's not that kind of a flashy player or anything, but he's a 9. He's like an old school number 9. That's what he is. And, I think with that, his physique, with his height, and really, like, as long as, he continues to develop more and his scoring gets better, I think he's going to, like, I really think the sky's the limit. I really think that he's going to be that. Bisek scored a very good goal as well. He just, he's another player that I have big stocks in for this season. I think last season he made a lot of improvements in his game, made much fewer mistakes. So I think this season he's going to have an even better season. Now, as for negatives, though, this is, with all due respect, it is a newly promoted team. And the first half, after we took the goal from a beautiful Hakan goal, it got really, really sticky. Now, Akanji is a good player. Let me just reiterate. He's a decent defender. He's a very experienced defender, has won a lot of City. And last season, when we brought him in, he did a lot. But he's not a player that can play in that central center back role in the middle of a back 3. He doesn't have the game reading and doesn't have the ability to, like, man mark a striker. And that ultimately was what cost us the goal, because the Monza player just spun him. The striker just spun him and just finished it well. Like last season as well, we saw it. Like, I remember last season against Napoli when we drew, Højlund just completely destroyed him. like in that game, like Højlund like really destroyed him, which opened up attacks for Napoli, and ultimately, we saw McTominay score those goals in that game. And against Bodo last season, again, he was the main culprit for the goals we conceded, even besides the mistake, and even against Juve and many other games last season, he really struggled in that middle of a back three. And again, against Monza as well. Like, I think you have to play him as a right center back. You cannot play him in the middle of the back three. That was the issue that I think Inter needed to address. And we sort of addressed it with Stones, who I think, actually came on and looked decent in his cameo. But I think we needed to buy another center back. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be, as Pavard ended up staying. But that is going to be one thing that I'm kind of a bit skeptical about going forward in the season, is like I just do not want to see Akanji really there. Now, the question is, do you really bench him? Because if you're going to have Bisek on the right center back, where is Akanji going to play then if Stone's going to start in the middle? Personally, I just think, with how many games there's going to be with Champions League, with Serie A, maybe even Coppa Italia, I think everyone's going to get a lot of fair share of game time, so I'm not worried. I just don't really want to see him there. But besides that, even though the first half was very sloppy, even though I felt that I know that people are waiting to see, but Lautaro did not have a good game. Let me just, make that, let me just say that. He didn't have a good game. He didn't look sharp, but, happens. We move on with that.
How many goals does Lautaro have? Because there's a certain individual that has 3 goals now, and there was a debate. There was a debate on whether who was better.
Listen, are we gonna judge off by match day 1? Like, come on, like we're comparing careers again. Like, look, Lautaro can give Milan the head start, man. It's fine. Like, at the end of the day, Milan. At the end of the day, Milan hat trick is what Roma fans are gonna have their confetti and fireworks out for. So I think enjoy that.
When that team don't when a certain Argentinian team doesn't baby him to goals, even against his normal opposition where he normally cooks.
Against Ivan Juric.
He's getting warmed up. He's getting warmed up, man. It's fine, man. We move
never
on.
Never seen Lautaro carry a squad, bro.
So I got a question for you, Doodle. I got a question for you. So are you saying that since you said that Lautaro's given Milan a head start, are you saying that at the end of the season Lautaro will have more goals than Milan?
Yeah, I'm gonna have confidence in my player. I think he will. Yeah.
Now he didn't sound too confident. He didn't sound too confident.
Yeah.
No, I think he will. I think Lautaro's gonna have more goals.
Doodle, you also got to look at it like this. You have Thuram, you have Esposito. These are players that are gonna. So whereas Roma, they have Milan. That's it.
I know what you're saying. I get that.
Goals. I'm talking about goal bangers. Like, it's Milan, and that's it.
Yeah, I get that. I get what you mean, but like at the end of the day, like, look, Thuram has for now 3 years and like even longer. It's like Thuram is not a consistent goal scorer. Like, I know what you're trying to say, but like at the end of the day, Thuram is not gonna score like that many goals to a point where Lautaro is not gonna have to score a lot of goals. Lautaro is gonna still have to score many goals.
Scored 15 last year.
So we got the comment. We got the comment here. Thank you for the donation. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank
3
you.
out of 37. So that's and I know Doodle, you're keeping the math going. I know you're tracking because you were in the group chat today. And
I know.
You're already logging.
I am tracking.
You're already logging the goals. So good job.
We were on a call.
I am tracking. I want to see.
We were on a call during the game.
Look, I think Milan will score a lot of goals. He can definitely win Coppa Cannoniere. I'm not denying that, but at the end of the day, the better player is gonna win. I'm sorry, but you can have the head start.
Wow.
You can have the head start, but this is not it's a marathon, right? So, while you can have a 3-step head start, we're gonna catch up. We're just gonna, before you know it, we're gonna be, just like how Inter's gonna be first place at the end of the season, Lautaro's gonna be first place in the in the Coppa Cannoniere race. So, that's
does he sound confident to you guys? Does he sound confident? It doesn't sound too confident. It doesn't sound like confidence to me. He's saying it, but he's like,
hey, listen, we got that. We're gonna be putting that receipt in the archives.
Yeah, Monza,
and we'll see how it pans out.
Sure, you can put that.
Monza, huge institution, coached by the terrorist himself.
But Zielinski scored a good goal as well.
That was a nice goal. That was a nice goal.
Yeah, I will say though, I feel bad for the keeper though. That keeper, come on, apparently, that
He
keeper
was
is
so bad.
Yeah, that was really poor, but poor keeper, especially you can't let Zielinski of all players, have the chance that he's gonna score, man. I truly think, and let me make a big statement. I truly think in Europe in general, Inter have the best ball strikers, like Di Marco, Çalhanoğlu, Zielinski, Barella when he's shooting. Actually, in terms of being able to score from outside the box, I think we have the best weapon. Even Stankovic as well. I think we have the best tools in Europe.
And that's exactly why. That's exactly why I don't think Lautaro is going to end the season a top scorer, because you guys got plenty of options, and at the end of the day, the most important thing is to win the games. So
yeah, I agree, but I still think Lautaro is going to be top scorer. I think he's going to have a monster season. I really think.
Wait, define monster season. How many goals are you saying?
I think he's going to hit 20. In Serie A minimum.
The league.
Well, he's not winning top score if he only lands 20.
I think he's going to get at least 20, but he's going to give. I would be,
but 20 is like a stroll in the park for a guy like Lautaro, right? So it's
minimum 20.
Last season, he got what?
Last season he was injured for 2 months. He was going to get 20.
Yeah,
but
but if you look at the top scorer list last season, I mean, no one was scoring. So this season is going to be different. I mean, Milan already have people. He already set the standard with a hat trick, and that was the first game. So
and that's great for him. But again, as I said, we're gonna, Lautaro's gonna surpass him in the goal tally at the end of the season. Right. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm gonna say it.
If Milan is healthy, there's nobody else.
Okay, that's crazy, yo. This guy's been annoying me.
Actually, that's a good idea. So whoever loses,
I like that deal.
Whoever loses, right, has to wear the kit of their
Yes, Tutto. Come on, you already know. Come on, let's
go. And let's ask George first. George,
you two.
Hey, let's ask George first. Are you down to make this bet?
Oh, he's down.
Oh yeah, he's down. I bet.
So let's set the standard real quick, okay? Let's set the standard. Doesn't have to make top score. It's who has more goals at the end of the season. If Milan has more goals than Lautaro at the end of the season,
in Serie A
in Serie A, we're talking about Serie A.
Yeah, I mean, it's a couple.
Doodle has to wear Juventus jersey, and Gio will be providing that with him. We'll ship it to you, Doodle. Don't worry, we got your back. George, if Lautaro finishes above Milan, you have to wear a Lazio kit. Are you guys down to do this?
I'm always down, bro.
Damn. All right. Challenge.
You know what? Fine. You know what? I'll do it. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Oh, where we go? Let's go.
Doodle, I got the perfect jersey for you, bro. So just get ready.
Yo,
I'm just saying. All right. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
To be Juve. Why can it not be?
No. It's Juventus. You agreed to it already, bro.
You said fine. You said
it's
fine.
Juventus, bro. That's it.
I'm gonna tell you one thing right now. Whoever ends up being the loser is gonna end up exactly like this.
Okay, well. Oh wow. Okay,
bring it on then,
dude. I'm gonna tell you one thing right now, brother. Rest in peace, and get ready to wear that Juventus kit, bro. Rest in peace, bro.
Who should be on the back?
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna be fun.
Who should be on the back?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm standing on business. Hey, I'm standing on business, though.
Forza ain't that big up. Thanks for the idea, bro. You just made our day. You just made our night, bro.
Well done.
There better be like an exit clause, like with injuries and stuff like that.
Nah, there's no exit clause. No, you know what? Screw the exit clause, man. We don't do any of that. We don't do any unless one of the players gets like a season-ending injury, unless that kind of thing happens, or like a month-long injured, lengthy injury. But there's
good thing you set that out there, because. That was important.
No, but that wouldn't be fair then. What if a player gets a long injury? That wouldn't be fair.
Define goals. All right, now we got that.
But damn, that's the yikes. Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Well, look. Right. George is agreeing to it. Look, George is agreeing to it, so I'm gonna agree to it. So that's just
All right. You got anything else for Inter? You got any other talking points?
Nah, nothing
for
else.
Inter?
Nothing else.
All right, so I'm gonna just get my take on Inter real quick. Very slow start in the first half, very shaky, and substitutions were made as well. And you guys just started scoring, I don't really think that first half being shaky is a bad sign. I just think it was just scraping that rust off and warming up. Inter have so much quality on that bench that if they see themselves in a tight position, the only thing they have to do is look to their bench. And as you could see, their bench is more than capable of delivering. Now, as of right now, obviously, I still have Inter as solid favorites, unless things change. And things may change. We never know, right? The football, that's the beautiful thing about football. But as of right now, I have them solid favorites to win the Scudetto. If they do not win the Scudetto with that squad,
no, that would be a huge failure.
That would be almost as bad as your performance against PSG in the Champions League and bottom two.
Oh no, nothing's ever topping that. I'll be real, nothing's ever topping that. But that would be a huge failure. But you can say that would be. You can say that would be arguably as bad, if not worse, than the 2 times we lost Scudetto.
Yeah. Yep. Big up, brother. Big up. All right. Anybody else had any questions for Doodle? Panel members, special guests, before we push on and move forward?
Yeah, I got a question.
Go ahead, brother.
Okay.
Just in terms of entering the season, obviously, league should be easy for you lot, right? With all the players and the power that you've got. Coppa Italia probably as well. Big question for me is Champions League. Do you guys think you can do something in that this season, or do you think it will be last season, the season before?
Well, I mean, you mentioned Coppa Italia, so I think if Inter, I'm gonna truly believe it. If Inter want to go far in the Champions League, they're gonna have to not take the Coppa Italia seriously, because I really don't think the squad is built to that point where they can just tackle 3 competitions at once. There is evidence into what happened last time we did that. So if you wanna
but I totally disagree, because your squad is much more stacked.
I don't think it's.
Hold on. Let me drive my point. You got rid of the old guard. You're a lot more stacked, and you have a coach that rotates intelligently. You did not have that when you guys bottled, and once again, let me say bottled 3 trophies. So I don't see. I could definitely see this Inter squad playing their B team, their entire B team in a Coppa Italia and winning.
Wait, B team winning, going all the way. I think they can make semis. I don't know about as a B team. I think we're gonna have to play some of the starters at that point. I don't know. I think the way I see it is, I do think that. Look, I'm not trying to disrespect anyone, but if you look at Inter's route to potentially to the Coppa Italia final, they will have Bologna in the quarterfinals if both teams win the round of 16 game, and then it wouldn't be the most Napoli and Roma.
Doodle. You cannot be out on Twitter talking about Serie A as the floors, Champions League the ceiling, we're the best, no contenders, and then you can't even make a brave take to say you can't compete on 3 fronts up on here, bro.
We're not. No. Look, I said we're gonna win Serie A, but I'm saying if we want to go far in the Champions League semifinals minimum, I just don't know if Inter is gonna be able to do also focus on Coppa Italia at the same time. I don't know.
I mean, the Coppa Italia is not the day before the final in the Champions League. There's gonna be time to rest. I'm looking around, and I could definitely see you guys competing on all 3 fronts. What I think, Doodle, is you don't care about the Coppa Italia, but I don't think that Inter as a club would not want to go for a treble this season.
I mean, going for a treble is a big ask. That is a massive.
But you are a big club, aren't you?
Well, yeah, but
okay. So then you should meet the expectation, shouldn't you, Doodle?
Sure, but we'll see.
I mean, you won the double last season. What is there left, bro?
Doodle.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think you guys could compete on all 3 fronts, bro. I'm just giving you. Giving you a hard time so you could, so you could flex, because you
I understand.
I understand
that, but I'm trying to also be realistic at the same time. It's I personally think that Serie A is gonna happen, and I personally think that we can definitely win the Coppa Italia again. It's just I think. Okay, let me just put out what I think it's gonna happen. We're gonna win Serie A, and I think we're gonna make minimum quarterfinals in the Champions League. I don't know how much further it will be after that. That's hard
Didn't
to say.
you just say semifinal minimum?
I said if we sacrifice the Coppa Italia.
Oh,
Are you even listening? Are you even listening?
Are you even listening? Are you even?
Okay.
He said, clean your ears, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you're not even
Hey.
listening, bro.
You're not
Hey,
even
listen.
listening.
Because this is not my favorite topic anyway, you know what I mean? Because,
Oh,
this
I know
is
it's not your
irrelevant,
favorite
you know what I mean?
topic, but
So,
anyways,
you know what I
you
mean?
should still
It is what
listen,
it is.
no?
Hey, listen, that Juventus jersey is going to look good on you at the end of the season. That's all
I'm not
say,
getting
bro.
it though. I think.
Oh, you are,
I
bro.
think.
Don't worry.
No, I think George is
worry.
gonna like his Lazio jersey. I'm sure Biaggi's gonna.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's what we got on that. Guys, do you think that Inter are more than capable to compete on all three fronts this season with that squad that they have?
Yes.
They should be.
I think they've been.
They have the best
for the last.
for the
seasons. I feel
Sorry,
like they've been trying to do that. They've been trying to compete in the three fronts the last 3 seasons. So I think, something's got to give. Gio said it's been doubles and doubles and doubles, and hello, we're waiting for a treble here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it is with this team, right? With this team, this Inter with these Inter fans, right? They keep saying they got the best player in every position. They got the best young striker. They got the best striker. They got the best midfield. They got the best wing back. They got the best defender. They got the best.
Who says that?
Okay.
Who says that? Who says that?
No. That's what you guys are saying. That's what you guys are saying. Every single time someone puts forward.
Hold on, Doodle.
Every single time someone puts
Doodle, let
forward.
him drive his point. Go ahead.
Every single time someone puts forward a player, the Inter fans are always ready to rebuttal with their own player. But somehow, some way, they're never actually able to compete in all three fronts if their team is as good as they say it is. But no, I'm just saying that, man. What Doodle does, I know what he does, right? I know he thinks he can. I know Doodle thinks he can compete on all three fronts. I know he thinks that.
No, I don't. I really don't.
He doesn't want to come out and say it.
No,
so when Inter do compete on all three fronts, he can be like, "Look at us, we compete on all three fronts." Yada yada yada. Even though
if that happens, but that's exceeding my expectations. Like you gotta
everyone
understand.
here knows Inter can compete. Everyone knows Inter can compete. Bologna is not stopping Inter from going far in the Champions League. I'm sorry, they just ain't. Like, stop it. Stop with this notion of Bologna.
I'm giving you. I think we compete on 2 fronts, 3. I mean, that would be crazy if that.
A team have 4 strikers that are probably able to start at 95% of Serie A clubs. They got probably the best collection of midfielders. You also got to
realize another thing, though.
They got the best collection of centre backs. They probably got the best defensive lines in Europe.
We don't have the best collection of centre. Okay, that's just cap.
One of the best defensive lines in Europe. They got and they just signed Jet Spence, an elite 1v1 defender. But no, somehow, some way, Jonathan Rowe from Bologna is going to stop them to go to the final.
I didn't even say that. I didn't say it.
No, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying specifically.
If you weren't listening 5 minutes ago.
No, but they say that they can't compete. It's nonsense. It's nonsensical.
What I said, I didn't even say the Bologna. I literally specifically said that we should be able.
I know you didn't say Bologna. I just stated a random team.
Sure, fine.
Bro, but they sit there and say that they can't compete. It's just nonsense. They can't compete, dude. You know they can. We know they can. You know they can. You just want to come out in the season and say, "Look, Inter competed on 3 fronts." No. You know your game.
George, let me tell you something. No,
you know your game.
Højlund has balls.
No, for me, let me just say. For me, how many fronts you compete on is irrelevant if you don't actually win something. Like you have to win. Like I rather compete on 1 front and win something than compete on 3 and win nothing. So
check this out. I think, Doodle, what's going on with you is you have PTSD.
It's not just about PTSD. I'm being realistic. Like
no. You witness your club bottle 3 trophies, and you don't want to happen again.
I think it's called PTSG, actually.
Okay. Well done.
PTSG. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Okay, that's a good one. Wow. I'm just telling you, I don't think we can compete on 3 fronts and win. I think we can compete on 2 though, as we did last season. But I do want us to try to make a further push in the Champions League. Bro, don't go out in round of 32 or round of 16. At least go out to a respectable team, and round of in quarterfinals.
So
I think Inter can beat any single team in that competition.
Check this out.
I think Inter can beat them.
Check this out. I agree, but the wild card here is Kivu. Could Kivu beat bigger sides this season?
That's another thing.
Can
That's another
Kivu
thing.
handle the head-to-heads in the league? Can Kivu walk into the Champions League and handle the Arsenal, handle the PSG, the Barcelonas at Real Madrid?
Yeah.
I think the wild card is Kivu.
That's another. Yeah.
That's what I got.
I think
other than that,
I think he's gonna do better this season in the big games, at least in Serie A. Now Champions League, it remains to be seen. The draw's gonna be on this Thursday, so we'll see about that. But last season in Champions League, he could not. He struggled. There were a lot of other factors as well that went into it. But at the end of the day, you lost to Bodo Glimt twice. Not a good look.
Big up. Thank you for the donation. Appreciate you.
That's actually a good idea. Worst case scenario, I'm doing that. Worst case scenario,
I love it.
That's his comment every single day.
I love it.
Worst case scenario, if I do have to do it, I'm gonna let you know after that. I'm gonna do that. That's a good one.
Wow. Gio don't like it. Gio don't like it.
No, I don't like that comment, but appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it as always. Oh my god.
Oh man. They got plenty of those at Napoli. Let one of us know. Let Ken and me know we got connection at Napoli. We send you a whole box of toilet paper.
They sell it on the street, baby. Just rolls and rolls of it.
All right on. Anyone else have anything for Doodle before we move on into Napoli?
No.
No, we're good.
Yeah.
All right. Looking forward to see who's gonna make top scorer. And someone here is going to end up wearing the rival team's jersey at the end of the season, brother. Yes, sir.
And by someone here,
it's gonna. I'm telling you, it's gonna be perfect doodle for you, bro. It's gonna be perfect.
Bro, no,
perfect,
no.
Perfect.
Hell no.
All right, let's go into Napoli. Leo, open it up.
All right,
you and
fellas.
Ken, you and Ken are gonna be, linking up.
Yes, sir. All right, so, very satisfied with the result, right? You have to be 3 points. I think Doodle said that's really all that matters at the beginning of the season. But we could see that Allegri ball was in full effect in that first half. I mean, we were just absorbing all the pressure from Genoa. At times, they actually looked pretty dangerous.
And smirking down here, I see him.
And I thought, that first half, even though 0-0, we went into halftime 0-0. I was just very concerned at are we gonna find it? Are we even gonna create a chance? Right? Is it gonna come in the second half? So I was very concerned about that going in the second half. So the second half came along, right? We could start to sense a little bit more urgency going forward. We saw Alisson Santos make some great crosses into Højlund. I mean, he was whipping crosses in there. Positioning wise, Højlund just wasn't getting there, but I think it's something that they can work on. And Højlund's a really good. I think he's one of the better finishers in terms of being a poacher. So I'm not really concerned about that. I think he'll find his goals. Of course, Politano got subbed off, which was a positive for us. He was on a yellow card. He lost possession too, a few times. So going forward, I thought it was a very decisive substitution when Allegri decided to take out Højlund, Politano, and Santos and bring in some fresh legs and inject the squad with a little bit more energy. So I got to give it up for Allegri. That was a great decision. I thought those subs were just perfect. Yeah, it really did. I wasn't expecting that from him. So that was to my surprise. I really like to see that, and it did. It changed the game, like Kenzie said. You got a guy like KDB coming off the bench. That is a luxury. I mean, he's 35 and all, but when you got a guy like KDB coming off the bench, man, it's everything. And I actually like him coming off the bench, even though he's got world-class talent, right? For the sake of his age, for the sake of keeping him healthy, I think it's a great role for him to fill. And we saw it. 83rd minute knocks in a goal for us. A very controversial goal, but
yes.
nonetheless,
great back heel by Vergara though.
Yes, yes. Oh no, that link up play was amazing by the subs, man. And if that was in question, we got to see Vergara score his own goal. And I got to point out on that build up real quick, Lucca being a great hold up in that build up. They were on the counter, and he was able to find Vergara out wide, and they were able to ball barely crossed the line, but a goal's a goal, and I was there to celebrate it. But yeah, I mean, just as far as how the game went on, offensively, defensively, obviously clean sheet, solid all around. Ragmani is such a rock, man. Like it's been such a turnaround for Ragmani.
This generation's Albiol, the most underrated player on the team.
100%. And I'll tell you, I was a big Ragmani hater, and he's really coming around. These last 2 seasons, I've just been like, wow, I have taken this guy for granted. I have. So
I mean, it's not only been the last 2 seasons he's been good. He won the Scudetto under Spalletti. He was awesome.
I know. Well, and that's the thing. I always thought that Ragmani was just the sidekick to the main center back, and I always thought Kim was that.
It's the exact same. It's the same thing as Koulibaly and Albiol, right? Everyone thought Albiol was just the sidekick, and then once Albiol left, Koulibaly went on a big downturn and ended up leaving the club.
Yeah, we brought in Manolas, and that turned into garbage.
He was supposed to be the replacement, and then Albiol played until like last season still.
Yeah.
Was he on Como last year? He played in Serie A last year. So it was a tale of 2 halves game for me too.
Yeah.
First half was brutal. So brutal. We absorbed a lot of pressure, like you said. It was really like Alisson Santos do all the work and try to make something happen. But in the second half, I thought we got quality out of our players. And one thing for me this season, this is maybe the least excited I've been about a Napoli season in the last like 10 seasons. I think getting Allegri is like doing a deal with the devil. It's worse than Conte for me, way worse, because as much as Conte was like an embodiment of those great Juventus teams, he's always looking out for himself first. So I always thought like he would leave and come around and do something else. But to me, Allegri is like, literally doing a deal with Satan. So it was really tough for me to get excited about the season. But to be fair, the triple stub changed the game. Lucca, just a little absolute to you for just being in the right place and not totally messing something up. Højlund's goals will come. He was this close to getting on the end of a McTominay, amazing McTominay like low cross early in the second half. I thought McTominay was good. Lobotka was steady as always. Vergara coming off the bench was amazing. For me, my eyes were on Rafa Marin because we've never really seen him. I thought it was up and down, and then he left the game injured. So we'll see what happens with that. I think we'll see Oliveira probably next week. But for me,
Badiashile, or maybe Badiashile. Bukema,
I don't know. Bukema's there.
Yeah,
that's right.
Bukema was on the bench, so I feel like he's probably close. But I don't know. But I'm nervous about Badiashile. I feel like Badiashile is like just like a body in case something happens.
Yeah, he gives me Axel Tuanzebe vibes.
Yes, literally gives me Tuanzebe vibes. Yeah, and it's like a really low risk move. But I thought the 2 goals were great. Obviously, there's some controversy on KDB's goal. Seeing Daniele De Rossi like have a coronary on the sideline was very entertaining to me. But I think it was.
You heard that, George?
Sorry, George. I think it was like. I think it was 50-50, whatever way they called it on the field.
It was a foul. I mean, it was a foul. Like even I can like, did Vasquez go down a little easy? Yeah, but KDB literally ran him over from the back. Like,
I feel like if Vasquez was a nonsense type of guy, like he would just clear it. But he was like trying to like
he was trying to
draw something. He was trying to draw something.
He was, but to me, I thought whatever way they called it on the field would have stayed. If they called it a foul, there's no way they called it a goal. After and they call it a goal, there's no way they're overturning that decision. But I think overall, Napoli was very bad in the first half, and then I thought they just overwhelmed them in the second half. I think Santos is a great player. I think he's maybe one of the most underrated signings of the last couple of years. in Serie A, a guy who was barely getting minutes at Sporting.
Cost us only 15 mil, by the way.
Yeah, you see
I
some
felt-
of his.
I felt bad for him throughout the game because constantly he was like crossing to the back post. No one was there.
Yeah.
Politano that should have been there.
I said one time
No.
Politano was like almost there, and he just like didn't follow through on the play.
Yeah,
And
we also
he
got
just, like,
to.
stopped.
Not just
We also got to give tip our hats to Ostigard. He completely locked down Højlund.
Yeah, he did.
He played a superb game. Højlund just
No
couldn't
yellow
connect
card
with
from the
those
bench,
crosses.
by the way, after he got subbed off. After
Yeah.
the goal.
To be fair, is locking down Højlund such a major achievement. That guy, I've never seen him like out wrestle a defender. That guy gets in wrestling matches all the time, and he just loses every single time. Locking him up is not that difficult of a task with defenders now.
All right. Well, I'll see you when we play.
Yeah,
you
we'll
guys,
see.
how you guys
We'll see
handle
about that one.
Højlund.
I feel
we
like
did
he's
see
one
it.
of the- He's one of
We
the
did
best.
see it.
He's one of the best hold-up strikers in the league, probably.
Yeah.
And he's a
No,
good finisher.
No, it's not.
We'll see. We'll give it some time.
I will throw in my my thoughts on this. We talked about the first half and it being us sitting back and absorbing pressure, but we absolutely did not talk about how we were just horrible at basic football. A lot of sloppy passing, a lot of players out of position. I remember a couple of times a pass would be made and the player was already making a burst, expecting the ball to be in front of him, and the ball was behind him. It was just like Allegri said it at the press conference. He said he felt like the players were in a rush to push that ball forward, and they were making a lot of mistakes. No clinicality at all in that first half. We created a couple of shots, like you guys said. Santos was doing most of the heavy lifting, and there was just nobody there. I really do truly think that if we would have scored off of one of those Santos crosses, we would have been talking about a whole different game here. Allegri, we have to accept Allegri is Allegri, and he's always going to, at one point in the game, go back to his pragmatic ways. But he started with the 4-3-3. We got a lot of Milan fans out there pissed because he promised that and then did a 3-5-2. But at Milan, it's a different story. They didn't have a traditional number 9. So how you play a 4-3-3 without a number 9 and a busted up layout? I mean, it's not going to work. With us, I see him playing a bit more of attacking football. I'm not saying that it's going to be Sarri ball out there or Italiano ball, but I do see him attacking. I mean, look at the second half. Those subs were made.
He also changed formation after he brought on the subs.
Yeah, he went to like the
Bragada and
4-3-2-1.
KDB were moving around and changing positions, and it wasn't a very strict 4-3-3 because they didn't really have two traditional wingers out there.
Yeah, he switched to a 4-3-2-1 in the second half. He started off with the 4-3-3, switched to, and then that was interesting to me because that front attack, they had a lot of liberty up there, a lot of just kind of do whatever you want, and it worked out. I truly do think, and I don't think he will accept this, but I think KDB works best as a super sub. He's 35 years old.
At this age, yeah.
Yeah. When he goes up against physical opponents like Inter, do you want a KDB starting from the get-go? And then think about it. If we throw all our top guns out there, and then in the second half we're looking like we're down a goal, we look to our bench. We bring in Politano. We're going to bring in Anguissa. I truly think it's best. I think besides Politano, I think the players that started should start this second game against Como, except for Politano. I think Politano should be switched out with Vergara, and I think that we should definitely have Lang and KDB out on the bench waiting to come in, and obviously Lucca, but we can't expect too much from him. But yeah, that's what I got on this match. I think that I don't think that it was a horrible match by any means. I like you guys had mentioned, Allegri made those substitutions in the 64th minute.
Yep.
If that was Conte, those guys wouldn't have. Politano wouldn't have left the field till the 84th.
Easily.
Like Conte would have stubbornly kept them out there.
Easily.
So yeah. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from Allegri and people that have experience with Allegri, like Juventus fans and Milan fans. He knows how to use substitutions. He knows how to rotate. So thank God that came out and it worked out in our favor, because that was a completely different second half. Even before the substitutions, it looked very different than what we did in the first. So big up to Allegri for recognizing our weaknesses, switching it up, and getting the win. One more thing. The thing about KDB's suspected foul, penalty, whatever you want to call it, that wasn't called. I see it as a gray area. The defender went down pretty easily. He could have cleared the ball, but he impeded KDB's way. KDB did not run over him. This player easily fell off of his feet. If it was any of your guys' clubs, you guys would be turning the other way as well. But there's one thing that I will say. If that's going to be the standard of a little bit of rough play in the box, it needs to be held as the standard for everyone. So let's say something similar happens to Roma or Inter, and it gets called, the goal gets called off, then what are we doing? I like some physicality up in there, and that's what I got.
Yeah, for me, the only other thing about Napoli is as I'm looking at the squad, and if we're going to actually go with 3 midfielders every game, my only concern is how that looks, because we don't have a lot of midfield depth, and we're also playing in 3 competitions. So I know you can rotate KDB in, but he's not a like-for-like for any of the 3 midfielders. The only like-for-like person you have is potentially Gilmore coming in for Lobotka. And after that, it's like at least 2 of the 3 of these guys are going to have to be playing every single game, unless they make a move for a midfielder, or unless they're going to cross-train someone to be a Mezzala. Like if they want Vergara to play deeper and play Mezzala sometimes for McTominay, I could live with that. But all of their depth is at wing and attack, and they have, I guess technically they have depth in defense, but it's not good depth. Even though I think Rosuli will wind up coming good. They have a plan for right back finally after 10 years.
I think we're actually pretty stacked when it comes to depth in the midfield, because we have Briscoe, we have Gilmore, we have Vergara, we have Lobotka, we have McTominay, we have Anguissa, and Gilmore could come in for Anguissa. He has done it in the past. We played a double pivot with Lobotka and it worked. Gilmore hasn't even sniffed the field yet, which is, I hope that doesn't happen this season. We need to see more of him. Vergara, as you had said, Allegri's already played him in a friendly as a midfielder. I really do think we're actually pretty stacked in a 3-man midfield. We're not stacked for a 4-man midfield. That Fab 4 nonsense that Conte try to implement will absolutely not work for us. And I don't think we could switch to a 2-man midfield, because that takes away a lot of our juice. So if everyone stays healthy, I don't see why not we run with a 3-man midfield.
My issue is you have 4 guys all right around 30 or older playing 40 games or more. And to me, it's just this one injury and we are in big trouble.
Well, that's when we have to rotate, right? We have to see Allegri cannot. I don't think Allegri will be starting the same starting 11 every week, even if we're in a week competition. I'm not expecting that from Allegri, but like I need to see Gilmore out there and Lobotka benched for an opponent that we could do that for.
For sure.
That's the thing that I think we're used to Conte and his lack of rotation. And Allegri is, if there's one thing that Allegri's strong at, it's rotating. So we'll see what happens. But I'm really not concerned about our midfield as much, Ken. Hopefully I'm right and you're wrong.
Yes, I hope you're right. I pray you're right.
I personally think it'd be it's gonna happen, so I'm just gonna have to accept it. But it's pretty irresponsible to not bring another midfield, considering how down we are. 3 starters and then Gilmore, and then that's it for your box to box type midfielder, and it's one injury and we're screwed. And yeah, I get it. We have Vergara. My issue with Vergara is I would really like to keep a bit of consistency in a position with him, especially at his youth. I feel like if we introduce him to a position, let him stay there and let that be his position. Let's not try to utilize him as a utility, because I feel like that's what, we're trying to do with Vergara. And yeah, he can do it, but I would really love to see him be like the staple of a position and have his position at Napoli.
I mean, I imagine Napoli are waiting to the last possible minute because they still have 5 guys that need to get off the team. They have guys that don't even have squad numbers that need to be moved. I think you have Ingon, who doesn't have a squad number, who's still on the team. You have Cayuse, who doesn't have a squad number, who's still on the team. You have Folarucho, who you that might end up being your midfield depth if nothing else happens, because he actually has a squad number at least. But aside from that, they're going to have to make some moves here. I mean, I'm not even talking about guys like Lindstrom or what they're going to do with Noah Lang, Kadira, even a guy like Giovan. What are you going to do with a guy like him? I don't know. There's still a dead weight a week before the transfer window closes.
Yeah. I've been keeping up with the scouting report, and I have not seen one name that we're linked to for a midfielder. I don't know if you guys seen it.
All been strikers.
Yeah, and that's where I think we are definitely depleted, because if Højlund goes down, guess who's coming in?
Gabby Jesus, hopefully.
Another old guy.
We're gonna get Lucca.
Going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
As of right now, we're gonna have Lucca, and we cannot have that happen. So I definitely think our main priority right now is the striker position. And I agree with you guys. I would love another center midfielder, but I have not seen us linked with anybody.
Yeah.
So unless the club has someone that's under their sleeve, which they haven't been moving too crazy this transfer window as it is. I mean, I think we're going to stick with the same midfield we have. Maybe, I don't know, hopefully Allegri has something that he could work with there when it comes to rotating.
Okay.
I got a question for you guys, so you guys could answer this. Good question.
Do Napoli have the quality to win the league? Probably not. I mean, maybe in a world where all players stay healthy and it's just this, we can rock out with our starting team most of the time, maybe. But Inter is really stacked. I think this season, if you take all of the reality into your context, 3 competitions, the squad is still not the best quality after you get past your first player at any position. Even seeing a guy like Rafa Marin start wasn't great. He got absolutely twisted around a couple of times yesterday. He got twisted around so much he had to leave injured out of embarrassment sometimes. But I think I don't think, all things considered, I don't think so. I think I'd be happy if Napoli finished 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and get sort of where they land if all the chips fall right. I could also see Napoli finishing 6th. That's just my take.
Leo?
Yeah, I think when you go down the line, right, and look at it player by player, I think the quality is there. I feel like we've done it once under Conte with a similar type of squad and talent. But I don't think we'll do it. I don't think we'll win the league, but we do have the quality, I feel like. But it's just not the year, I don't think. And I want to add something about Rafa Marin. I think it would be doing him a disservice if they start trying to bench him or something. You don't want to kill his confidence too much, because in technicality, we got a clean sheet and he played 80 minutes. So you don't want to kind of shoo him away like that. I want him to mess up for real, allow a goal or something like that for us to go for his head, And sure. So I think we'll walk the line with Marin, but yeah, I think we got the talent for sure though.
So my take on this is someone's mic. Well, I'm hearing a lot of back to me. Someone's mic. Yeah. So my take on this is that we're guaranteed lock top 4, in my opinion. You don't bring Allegri in to at least not make top 4. I think that we can win that Coppa Italia. Allegri is very good at the Coppa Italia. He won it with a busted up Juventus when they were sitting in court getting minus 10 points. I do think that he is more than capable of going deep into the Coppa. When it comes to the Scudetto, unfortunately, I see other teams very stacked, and we would have to work some magic for that to happen. I don't rule it out because anything could happen in any given day. Unfortunately, look what happened to Yildiz today. Yildiz is injured. He's going to be out for at least 2 months. I'm not trying to say, hey, listen, I'm hoping people get injured and stuff like that. But we all sitting at the table and we're looking at match day 1, and already predictions are changing. Already predictions are changing for Roma. Already predictions are changing for Como. So it's like my friend over here, Gio, said, this is not a race, it's a marathon. Yeah. And what we have to do is we have to lock in and get 3 points, minimum 1 point, and just look at the next opponent. And when it comes to last year, we suffered 48 injuries. I don't see that happening. The top doctor in our medical staff is fired. He's unemployed. And we don't have Conte Gladiator training anymore. So I don't see us. And I'll tell you right now, if we didn't suffer 48 injuries, we would have gave Inter a run for their money last year. So we basically have more or less the same squad. Yeah, everyone's a year older, but we have veterans on that squad. We have players that come up in clutch moments on that squad. We have the winning mentality. This is not 2016. And I'm going to come out here and I'm going to say guarantee lock 4, and I'm expecting a trophy this season, whether it's the Coppa Italia or the Scudetto. Coppa Italia is more reachable, but I'm not going to come out here and say that Napoli winning the Scudetto is impossible. And I'm going to tell you something. And I'm hearing it from, it's not just you guys, right? Ken and Leo. But everywhere I go, I'm hearing that Napoli are not making top 4. And I absolutely do not agree with that. I absolutely think that's not acceptable for Napoli right now on our 100th anniversary. And I think that's why Allegri was brought in for stability to at least lock top 4. So remains to be seen. I hope I'm right. If I'm wrong, well, guess what? I'm going to take a lot of bullets, but so be it. So be it. And let's let you know, this is not the Napoli 2016 that we're losing Scudetto in the hotel room. Let's lock the fuck in, and let's give these people some hell. Let's give Roma some hell. Let's give Inter some hell. Let's give Milan some hell. Let's give Juventus. I'm not even scared of Juventus. So let's give Atalanta some hell, and let's lock the fuck in. That's what I got. Now, panel members, what are your opinions on this question for Napoli?
Honestly, this Allegri team, this Allegri system is not good. Like this whole against Genoa, they got outplayed by Genoa. I fully believe they got outplayed by Genoa for large portions of the game, and it was just their overall talent that led them to the win. Genoa don't have Kevin De Bruyne, Antonio Vergara. They can't bring on the firepower off the bench that Napoli could, and I think that won them the game eventually. Especially being the 2 scores off the bench, and this whole Anguissa McTominay in the 8 role where they're both and the ball's could be just stop it. I don't know what he was doing. It was a terrible decision. I saw it. I was like, what was he doing? Like thing is what about those two? They're play finishers. They're not playmakers, right? So they're gonna get that run in the box, get the header in there, but they're not gonna be able to, necessarily put that through ball in to Højlund, put that defense splitting pass to Alessio Santos, who then can play a pass in to the striker. Like they don't do that. that's why Napoli, for large portions of it, looked so stagnant until the playmakers came on, Vergara and what's his name, Kevin De Bruyne. And credit to Allegri, he gave them the free roll, but it's just the same old Allegri. Whether it's 4-3-3 or 3-5-2, pragmatism over being a protagonist.
Give me a second, George. Max is heading out, guys.
Yep.
Hey, Max, thanks for stopping
Nice
by,
to
bro.
meet
I
you.
know
Later, Max.
it's about to be
Ciao,
breakfast
ciao.
time for you over there, brother. So go
Visit
get
us
some.
again. Make sure.
Yeah, go
Thanks
get
for
some.
Yeah,
having me
man.
on.
Go
It's
get
been
some
great.
sleep,
Thank you,
brother.
guys.
And
Thank you.
yeah, I'll be hitting you up so you could do a return, bro. All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, man. See you
Later,
later, guys.
Max.
And
Later.
Forza
Yeah, good night.
Milan.
Go ahead, George. You're driving a point.
Yeah, I was just saying this it's the same thing with Allegri. 4-3-3, 3-5-2, 4-4-2, it doesn't matter. It's pragmatism over being a protagonist, and Serie A is moving away from that. It just is. As you look at who made top 4 last year, Inzaghi, Kivu, Gasperini, Conte, and Fabregas. No matter what you say about Conte does play a more progressive style of football than Allegri, and that's how you're gonna win games in today's football, because you're looking at look at the likes of Udinese. They're even trying to play good football. They're even trying to attack, put the step forward, and just like again yesterday against Genoa, they got lucky. But if you tune up the competition, they're going to get punished, and that's exactly what caused Milan last season to miss out on Champions League football. Not because the players were bad, but because players was our fault. But Allegri's system of inviting so much pressure, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Interesting, because in the 100th episode, you said that because of Allegri, Napoli actually have a shot to do something this season, and then match day 1, you're actually one of the thousands and thousands I've seen just switch up their prediction after match day 1. So, okay.
It's not that I don't think they can make Champions League football. They can, but again, this whole stuff of I thought they're gonna play more progressive football. I thought they was, but they just not. But I just don't see them doing that. Like it's just the Allegri way. It's just how it is. It's the Allegri way. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. You just can't do it.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna sit here and say that Allegri is an attacking minded coach, but I do think that Allegri is planning on attacking more. And like I said, that first half, we're losing possession in the midfield, in our side of the field, so many times, countless times, because of misplayed passes. So a lot of that absorbing pressure that you saw was us misplacing passes and just basically giving them possession. Yeah, there was times where we sat back and absorbed the pressure. I get it. Also, we had a Rafa Marin that was suspect back there. So Spina had to hold his hand and sit back there and make sure he didn't do a blunder. So our back line is a little bit weak. But
I do agree.
Just to go off of, let me drive my point. Just to go off of match day 1. I don't feel at all nervous just because we had that iffy first half. For God's sakes, Inter had a very iffy first half as well, and they had to bring in their bench, and they ended up winning that game.
3 points is what matters at the end of the day.
That's all I'm gonna say.
That's just I disagree in that notion, because style of play matters at the end of the day.
It doesn't matter, but like at the end of the day, you're forgetting like Allegri. I know what you're saying, George, like, style of play and everything, but you're forgetting something. Like Allegri is still Allegri. He didn't forget how to coach. Like we're all at the end of the day, we're all sitting here with mics, with cameras on and like talking ball. But Allegri is a guy that has was winning Scudetti and making Champions League finals when we were still growing up.
You're bringing up the achievements.
No, but like my point is, at the end of the day, this Napoli team is better than the Milan team that he had, and even the second stint that he had at Juve. So,
I agree in you in that sentence. I agree in you. But when to Dom's point earlier, he says, why were they misplacing pass? Why were they losing a lot of possession? It wasn't just because lazy lack of.
Well, I agree. Passes. Yeah, see, that's where you can criticize Allegri.
It's because players is because players like McTominay and Guisar are not necessarily great players on the half turn to receive the ball in first phase build up. You have the fullbacks like Spinazzola and Di Lorenzo, who are not necessarily they're not 26 anymore, nor are they do they have the can they keep up the athletic demand of today's football. Then you look at Politano. Politano just isn't a creative player. He's more of a body out there, a runner. He does the job. Yeah. There are so many things that I like you're asking Allegri to overhaul it, to play Vergara, to play Kevin De Bruyne, to sacrifice that pragmatism for more offensive football. And I just don't think he'll do that. And unless he has never shown me anything that all of a sudden he will just switch just because there's better players. I just don't see it. When we saw it game week 1, he went with pragmatism again, and he only switched up until he was forced it because Genoa was putting mountain pressure on them. And again, Genoa was missing a lot of chances. And if you tune a level up, whether it's a Roma, whether it's an Inter, whether it's a Napoli, Milan, those teams are going to punish you.
Yeah. All right. Well, espresso time, guys. I think we should move on to Roma since George, you're gonna have to also leave as well. So let's get into Roma now.
Speaking of Roma, we won 4-0. Of course, I've never seen arguably the greatest switch up. That was the greatest switch up I've ever felt. Like we went from Marlon is gonna flop. We had players. I'm sorry, I'm gonna call him out by names. Haj was saying Marlon was gonna flop. We had Martino saying that Marlon isn't gonna carry on what's it called, his form from last year. One game later, I have the entirety of Serie A Twitter and TikTok adding me in their videos. so like what is it, man? Like that switch up. And I'm gonna be honest, guys, I'm not accepting it. The bus is full. The bus is full. You guys cannot join this bandwagon. Stay on that side because, wow. Again, I must say it again. The switch up was insane. Brilliant game by Roma, 4-0. They beat it again. Match week 1, but it's not like they didn't beat Monza. They didn't beat Genoa. They beat Fiorentina. Fiorentina was the same side that we were all saying all summer long. This team won the Mercato. This team won it. This team won it. The amount of players that they brought in, Pellegrino, Cristolai, Arthur Arta, Alex Jimenez, we were all saying they had the best summer of all the teams. And Roma went out there and they smashed them. Marlon hat trick again, proving why he is the best striker in the Serie A. Dybala again, time and time again. No matter how old this guy gets, no matter how many times he gets injured, this guy's talent will never leave him. And you know what is? Shout out to Brian Cristante. Shout out to Brian Cristante. For me, that was the only time I'd ever say Brian Cristante, you put a 10 out of 10 performance out there. It wasn't just your running, but it was Manu Kone could play midfield on his own because every single time Manu Kone lost the ball, which wasn't much, but every single time he did it, within a couple of seconds, Brian Cristante would win the ball back. And we just put the pressure on them. So great from Roma. Gasperini absolutely outcoached by Grosso, and it was a statement win. It was a statement win. And I don't want anybody to switch up now saying, "No, it's no. It's a game week 1. No. Fiorentina."
No, I got a question for you.
I got a question. Was going to win it.
I got a question for you. First of all, I got a question for you. First of all, good win. I'm not going to deny that. I think for me, Roma had probably the most impressive result from every team this match day. I think we all can agree on that, given everything. But now the thing is, you said the Marlon's the best striker in the league. You said that Dybala and Marlon, together is gonna have a great bromance. They can connect up. You said that Cristante had a great game. You said that Gasperini, coached a great game, and you're saying that you smashed the team that was what many people considered to have the best window. So to me, it sounds like Roma are. To me, it sounds like you're trying to say that Roma are a contender for a Scudetto. That's the way I'm kind of hearing the vibes. I mean, your fan base as well.
Those words ever come out of my mouth when I said that? Did I ever?
I'm just asking. I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering.
I said Roma went out there. Okay. Roma had Milan another hat.
Yeah, but Milan hat trick and all that, Dybala, you would think like
Dude,
that's
you're
a
not
super
dumb.
team, right?
You're not
Like,
dumb,
it's a
bro. You're
super
not dumb,
attack.
bro.
Like,
You can't.
I'm just wondering.
You're not
Like,
dumb.
I'm just wondering.
That was no.
I'm just asking you, like, what do you think?
Doesn't necessarily mean that Roma all of a sudden are a better team than Inter. No. Like,
No.
what?
That's not what I asked because I don't think you are.
Right.
But you're saying like, do you think you can't win it then? You have Milan, you have Dybala. You're saying
Inter are
you
still the
praise them
best team in
both
the league.
highly.
For Roma to win a
Just
Scudetto, I
wondering.
said it again. I said it time before. For Roma to have a Scudetto, everything has to go right. And I'm telling you, there's gonna be a couple disasters for Inter for Roma to win a Scudetto.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
If you're talking to two teams who are straight up going for the title, Inter will beat Roma 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm just wondering, I'm just wondering because other teams, I don't know, it's just
No,
the
Dudo,
way,
no,
I'm
Dudo,
saying
no,
your
don't
fan
take
base,
that, no.
moving. I'm just wondering,
I'm
just,
sorry,
know,
I'm sorry here, but timeout that means absolutely nothing. I'm sorry. It's how you.
What the
spell
hell
it.
does this
Sorry,
mean?
I'm
What's the
sorry.
market value about? What is this?
Market value.
What are we doing?
Transfer
I
market.
don't understand this. This is a Barcelona fan, so I understand. Aren't you guys like corporate financial issues? Aren't you guys like?
This is
like,
transfermarkt.com BS is what this is.
Yeah. What the projected value of all the Serie A teams are,
If you bring up comments like this, we're gonna put you on blast, bro. That absolutely makes zero.
That has
sense, bro.
nothing to do with what we're talking about at all. Like that's irrelevant. No, but George, I do agree. Like I think that Roma. No, I'll be honest though. I think Roma can, for me right now, overall squad wise, I think you're ahead of the other teams, at least on paper. Now remains to be seen how you're gonna be. But I'm just wondering, because of Milan and Dybala. Yeah.
No, Doodle. Again, I just want to say it was a statement win because, like I said before, a lot of us were putting Fiorentina on the pedestal. Andrea, bless him. I was reacting to it. I was on live with him. We were live reacting to the game. He was saying Fiorentina Champions League push. Shout out to Grizz in the comments. I see you.
What?
No. Andrea is a Fiorentina fan. He was saying Champions League push.
Oi!
He smashed them.
He
smashed them.
Well, that's crazy.
Guys,
crazy.
It's overrated this team, bro.
We all believe there was a crazy, but again, he smashed them. I wanna give a massive shout out to Luli, young boy, Molina, who generally he made me forget Molina. We signed Molina. It genuinely made me he was amazing. Wesley, once again, he was so good. Wesley was out there doing step overs for fun because why not?
Hey guys, time out real quick. Now you guys know that George is the face of Roma Twitter. So now you guys know.
So that's where all this
Wow, there you go.
That's where all this is coming
When
from.
you guys are ready to shoot some missiles at the Roma Twitter side, you go straight to George. Just let you know he's the face. That's something that I would never want to be. That's something I would never want to be for my fan base on Twitter. Congrats, George. Have fun with that. Hope you survive.
Yo, Gio, get your missiles ready, man. Get your missiles ready.
Don't worry.
Nah, when did I ever?
Yeah. So the face of Roma Twitter doesn't believe in the Scudetto. All I'm gonna say. So he represents the whole fan base. Right. There you go.
Wow.
Once again, Roma was a brilliant game, and all this comes up to for the rest of the season is consistency. Because Roma's had games like this where they just were incredible, but oh my god, the better one is Brian Casante's better than Zinedine Zidane, but hey, end of the day, it is what it is. Great win by Roma. Donja Malen is the greatest Dutch striker we've had in Serie A.
Better than Van Basten. Better than Van Basten. Is that what I'm hearing?
Wow.
We don't talk about plumbers, man.
No. But Van Basten won many Scudetti. So if Malen is better than Van Basten, I'm hearing that you would think that he would take Roma to Scudetto. That's what I'm hearing right now from him. Because you're saying he's the best Dutch striker that Serie A has ever had. So I'm just saying.
That was
going to be a famous catchphrase.
That was egregious, George. That was egregious.
Wow.
You're not down, bro.
I think the last Dutchman to lead the league in scoring Mertens or what?
Mertens is Belgium.
Merchants is
Belgium,
Georgia.
Yeah.
Damn,
Cut
got
it.
myself bad, bro.
It's about to be Daniel Marlon, but
Yeah, Higuain
Oh.
currently holds the record, and
This-
Mertens
30
holds
more.
the top
Well,
score
how many
of
more we got?
Napoli
It doesn't
history.
matter. It doesn't matter. We got record this, record that. Yeah, we're looking at it. Great win by Roma. Any more questions you guys want to ask me? Quickly, you can ask me. And
I don't have
football,
a question
not,
to ask you, George.
not
but
necessarily what Doodle.
I got statements to
Sorry.
make about Roma. I have statements to make.
Hey, time out real quick. Thank you for the donation. I'm sorry, I just saw that right now. Would have brought it up earlier. I'm gonna go ahead and answer this first. Every single panel member, give it a shot. Yes. No. Napoli is gonna remodel Estadio Maradona. I was hoping that we were gonna get our own stadium, but to meet that Euros deadline, we have to. That's the closest shot that we have to getting to hosting. I personally, in my opinion, if I was like, if I had any say with Napoli, I would be like, screw that. Don't want to host the Euros. I want my own stadium, and that should be the main objective. Because we're just doing the same thing. Roma's gonna have their stadium. Milan, Inter, they're gonna have their stadium. Juventus already has their stadium. Smaller clubs are owning stadiums, and it would be very hard to compete with these clubs bringing in the full revenue of tickets. And like I said, if you throw a concert at one of these stadiums, guess what? A lot of that money goes to the club. And I would love to see that at Napoli, because Napoli hold concerts at Stadio Maradona all the time.
Mhm.
And none of that goes to the club. ADL pays millions of dollars to rent out the stadium for Napoli to play in. So, yeah, that's what I got. Roma, Roma's going to get their stadium. You guys want to answer that? Give it a quick go.
Yeah, Roma is gonna get the.
Yeah,
Roma
I
is
It's
think
going to be
Roma-
separate, right, from Lazio. It's not going to be like what Milan and Inter are doing.
Yeah, they're staying at the
yeah.
Olimpico.
Finally. No, Lazio's also gonna leave, if I'm correct. Lazio's also gonna leave the Olimpico.
Oh, they're leaving as
gonna
well?
build.
Do they have the
They're gonna
money
build
though
their
to renovate a new stadium though? They're looking.
These
to
guys,
grow.
these guys have got money. Like these Serie A clubs have money. It's just FFP, but they'll build their own stadium. It'll be a lot smaller. Like I think it'll be like less than half the size of the Olimpico, because
Yeah.
Lazio, these guys can't even fill out. I don't.
But they can't fill
Even
out
on their
30%. You know, like
You know what I mean? Even at their best day, and even in their biggest games, they can't fill it out.
even when
So I think they're
Lazio are
building-
quote unquote home team against Roma, like it's basically a Roma home game if you think of it like.
Like I think it's gonna be a 30 seater stadium.
Yeah.
Roma will build a 45, 50,000. Again, we are the bigger club. No, it's not hate. It's just how it is. Numbers don't lie. Roma will build their own stadium. I forgot where it was in Rome. It was somewhere in Rome. Before it was at some like I don't remember. I'm not gonna tell you where it was. But yeah, we'll build our stadium.
That's a long damn answer, George. Okay, we got it. You guys
Sorry. Sorry.
Ken, you wanted to say something? Or you wanted to jump in about Napoli?
Yeah, just about Napoli. I mean, as much as I'd love to dream of a Napoli stadium, De Laurentiis will never finance a stadium on his own. He is happy to let the city get the funding or the region get the funding to refurbish the Maradona. He's happy to say he's unhappy with it and he's going to move them somewhere. But for all of the credit you can give ADL, he's never going to build them a stadium, no matter what he says. It's never going to happen. I'm happy that the city has allotted the money for them to revitalize the Maradona, because even though I would prefer them, for all the reasons Dom mentioned, to own their own stadium, it will never happen. But I'll be happy that we'll be closer to the pitch. The track will be gone, and they'll get rid of that weird like trench that goes around the stadium when you're there. That you like someone's going to fall off the curva and smack the ground. But yeah, I mean, De Laurentiis can't even. This team, the lease ended at their training ground. De Laurentiis posted a picture of a rock that said, "This is the first rock of the new training facility," and we have heard nothing since. So why would I believe that he's going to build this a stadium? But
it'll just leave Napoli behind if they do. If De Laurentiis is gonna move like that, because if Roma, Lazio, even Lazio, gonna get like people don't forget how major a stadium is Like Juventus basically rattled off 9 straight because they had their own stadium.
Yeah.
Because they got so much more money.
It's massively important. I just don't see it happening for many reasons.
So
But,
this is what I got about ADL in the stadium. Roma, you guys have been trying to open up your own stadium for the longest, and the city and the politicians always get involved. That's the thing in Italy, and the same thing goes with Napoli. The mayor and the politicians, because they get money, right? Like I said, throw some concerts out there in the stadium. It doesn't go to the club. Who does it go to? It goes to the city. So now you're messing with their money. ADL, yes, it partly ADL is a very smart investor, because at the end of the day, if Napoli falls, ADL falls. You know, if that's just how it is. Like, it's an investment to him at the end of the day. Love it or hate it, that's what it is. And he's not going to end up bankrupt for nobody. And I get it. But we also have to mention that the city numerous times has done everything possible to keep Napoli at that stadium. I remember when ADL had the idea of moving the stadium, like moving Napoli to a new stadium, and it was going to be a smaller venue. It was going to be like 40,000, 30 to 40,000. I remember we were all like, we didn't want that because it was just going to be too small. So I really do listen. I highly respect ADL. He has made mistakes with our club in the past, but overall, when I look at his time with Napoli, it's been successful. I really do think that ADL is going to eventually sell the club. I don't think he's going to pass it off to his son. I think he's going to, I already think he already has the suitors that he's thinking about. I think he denied that deal that was proposed to him that actually became, it was facts. It wasn't him lying.
It was facts. Yeah, it was facts.
Over $1 billion for Napoli. And he said no, because I think that he wanted to keep the club for this 100th edition, 100th anniversary. Because at the end of the day, I truly think, and I think a lot of Napoli fans do think this as well, ADL loves the club. And he said, he's said his messed up comments in the past, but I think they said no, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I disagree. I think ADL has learned a lot with Napoli, just how to be a person, how to step back from the mic, how to stop saying stupid things. And we saw it with Conte, and I think we're going to see it with Allegri. So, unfortunately, I think Ken's on point where it's most likely looking like we are going to remodel. But don't be surprised if Napoli brings in some deep pockets, new ownership, and we actually are able to inject money into the club like Juventus did, which now they're in financial fair play.
You don't want to cook the books like them, though. That's the only thing.
No. What I'm saying is that we would have more wiggle room with what we're doing. So that's what I got on that. I don't want to take too much time up on this topic because we still got to cover 2 more. But yeah, guys, that's what we got on that question. Let's move on to Roma. We're done with Roma, right?
Yeah.
For Leo had something to say. Did you have anything to say, Leo?
No. I was gonna I'll just say real quick. You guys look fantastic. I feel like you guys are, looking like the leaders of Serie A, to be honest, like right now. For match day one, you guys are looking like the best. That's all I gotta say about Roma. Let's move.
Look at Doodle down there.
All right, boys.
All right, man. Peace out. Have a good one.
All right, George.
Hey, George.
See ya.
Right. Well, let's move on to Atalanta. Go ahead, Aster. Take it away, man.
So it's been a long week. We actually had 2 games and not one. So I'll quickly cover the Conference League playoff for anything. We drew 0-0 to Hapoel Tel Aviv, which is shit. I mean, we didn't even we had all the possession and stuff like that, but we didn't create anything until the last 10 minutes. And the stats were pretty even, which was shocking to what I've seen. But it's the first game. Sadi told us it was gonna start sloppy, so I'm not really too bothered by that. I'm just hoping for the second leg on Thursday that we can forget about this result. Anyways, now for the actual match. We got 2-1 win against Sassuolo, albeit Sassuolo were missing a lot of the best players, but you gotta play what's in front of you. Like, who cares? We start off hot. Gaetano, who's been incredible so far, he found Raspadori, who hit that with pure anger into the off the bar and in. Like, that was a beautiful finish. This guy saw we were linked with Jonathan Rowe, Noah Lang, and said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna nuke. I'm gonna bomb the net."
Underrated player. Always been an underrated player.
I mean, I had my doubts about him, still do, but hey, when he does shit like that, then I'll take it. Like, Gaetano as well. What great assist! He helped win the ball back as well from that Sassuolo player, and then threaded it through to Raspadori. And overall, Gaetano, he was great. Like, in that role, he was one of our best players, and I like what I've seen. He also got like 4 assists in preseason, so this signing might be great. Anyways, after that though, Sassuolo were pinning us. They had a few chances here and there, which was worrying. But we had our own sometimes. Zalewski had one, which he skewed a bit. And Zalewski again, he played well, but as usual, his decision making in the final third lets him down a lot, and it happened again yesterday. But halftime 1-0. Sassuolo were still attacking our goal, which was again concerning. Considering again they had like Berardi, Pinamonti, their whole back line was gone. So they were basically playing a B team, and then we eventually conceded through Casono, heading it towards a Sassuolo player from a throw-in, and he basically just like flicked it in with his nose into the far corner. That was a weird goal, but we made some subs. Samardzic, Krstovic, and CDK all came on to try and get the goal, and we eventually did get it. Karnaseki sent a long ball. We were fortunate with the defender heading it backwards to literally nobody, aside from Krstovic, who took the ball, went 1v1, and coolly finished. I was worried with him because he didn't really celebrate much apart from a kiss on the badge, and he looked really sad at halftime. I really hope the guy's okay. I hope nothing wrong happened in his personal life, because I love the guy. Like, anytime I see him score, I'm very happy. And I hope he has a great season. But we managed to hold on, and hey, a win's a win, 2-1. A good first game in Serie A with Sarri, and some players are looking good. We played Zappacosta for this game, and he played well. The substitutes, that was a good sign. Again, the 3 I just told you, they all helped us gain momentum, and we eventually held on. Like, last season we would have slumbered to a draw to this Sassuolo team, but hey, a win's a win. We take those. And a guy that did play was Elmas, who when I woke up to see this, I was very shocked considering there were no rumors, no links, not one journalist tweeted about this at all. Elmas to Atalanta, and then I wake up seeing he's signed for the club. We take those. Like, we needed a midfielder, and he can play anywhere in the midfield and sometimes on the wing. Like, he's very versatile, and he'll be a great either squad option or he can start games like that. And I'm glad with the signing. We're also sniffing on Jonathan Rowe. We had a 35 mil bid, or what? We rose it to 40 mil actually. We're trying to negotiate with Bologna in the next week to try and secure him before our game against Bologna. I really want him. Like, he's my number one target for the left wing position now. He's a great player. He can run at defenders. He can curl a beautiful shot, and he'll be a great addition to starting 11. Okay. Do I think Ederson played well? Do you think that? He's been like all right in the game. It's not at his best. It's not his best 100%. As for the United move, I don't think he's bothered. He ended up signing a new contract anyway, so he still loves the club and he's still putting up all right performances. I mean, again, that's not the best of him yet, but we'll see it eventually this season. And Noah Lang talks are still underway. We still want a loan, and Napoli want it permanent. But either way, I'd rather get Rowe. So like we get a good player straight up, and we don't have to do long talks with club. So XG, yeah. I mean, I told you we had. Like for most of the first half after our goal, Sassuolo were the better team, and even after the second half until they scored, they were getting chances as well. So I am a bit worried about us leaking chances again, but it'll get solved eventually, in my opinion.
No.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good win. On to Thursday then for the second leg.
Anything on Atalanta, guys? Anything about Sarri and about the first game?
I'm just seeing Atalanta's trying to, be the new Napoli.
I literally know
so many
because they got Sarri.
So we got Sarri, Gaetano, Raspadori.
Yeah.
Don't forget Giuntoli too.
Giuntoli.
Got Giuntoli.
Gianluca Gaetano.
We're literally Napoli light. Like
little bro wants to be like big bro. I get it. You got Lete on your chest now too.
Bro,
you took our old sponsor.
You got Sarri as well as your manager.
You guys want to be like us.
I think Sarri will come good for you guys. Atalanta's a good club for him. I think you'll have a good season. Started the same way with Napoli, where it was a little shaky, and he ended up making us a machine. So, seeing guys like Sarri and Gasparini, who I hate but is a great manager, these guys are guys I wish were at Napoli. I'm still so cold on Allegri. I wish we got Italiano instead, but it's okay.
Yeah, again, I've said it for a while. I think you'll do well. And I still think we'll win the Conference League. So we got to seal Thursday then. Just make it safe first.
Right on. Yeah, I don't got anything else for Atalanta. You guys got anything else before we go into Juventus?
Nope. I'm good.
All right, Gio, kick it off. You already have a question up here.
Do you think I'll get into it after I explain my quick analysis of the game. First half, I mean, we dominated in possession. We were really pressuring Frosinone, putting them in their own half. Frosinone not really in a threat in the first half. It was really all Juventus. But and then Bremer scored, which big up to Bremer because, man, it looks like that he's coming back to his best. So that was a great shout out for him.
You should get half of Kolo Mauni's paycheck for real.
I was gonna actually mention that.
Of it. You should get 3/4.
Yeah,
of it.
because
actually give him the whole entire paycheck, Gio. Give him the whole entire paycheck.
Yeah, that's the only one I would say he could finish. Like everybody else, again, it's just the same type of vibe as last season. The way that we were playing. I mean, it's just we're not clinical enough. We have so many chances, but we're just unable to finish. Obviously, Bremer came in and he just scored a nice, beautiful header, which was really nice. But other than that, I think Conceição had a good game. Other than scoring, that was the only thing. His final product. I mean, he does everything well, but then it's just the final pass. It's either the final pass or it's just the final shot. He it's just unlucky for him. And then Kolo Muani. This is and going to that question. If I could read it again. Here it is. Yeah, I don't think Spalletti went overboard. I really think that he, like Kolo Muani, after missing that type of shot, we paid. Well, I mean, not yet, but it's we paid like 43 million, 45 million for Colomwani, and it's like he's supposed to be putting those goals in. And what Spalletti was saying was very, very true. Like, and I get it, it's his first game back and stuff like that, but you can't be missing like, you know, one-on-one like that. And it's like, it's not like just that, it's just the way that he played. I mean, to be fair, I would give Colomwani a little bit of credit, like in terms of his movements. I liked his movements. Different profile from Jonathan David from last season, different profile from Openda, breaking the lines. So, I mean, and also the link-up play, I saw Colomwani dropping back a little bit as well. But I feel like that this team still needs a lot. And again, the midfield is a big question mark in terms of what we need. The midfield is the weakest point on the pitch. Douglas Luiz, to be fair, he had a great game. In terms of creativity and stuff like that, but other than that, it just gives me the same type of vibe as last season. Then this morning, the big bomba for Juve was that Yildiz is now injured for 2 months and is probably going to need surgery. And you're losing your best player now after, we won and stuff like that against Frosinone, but it wasn't even a convincing win. And now we just lost their best player for 2 months, maybe even more. Who knows? Because, you know, it all depends on the player's, recovery. And, it's a big blow for Juve. Now, of course, I mean, we have to also see what happens with now how Spalletti will line up the team. We still have Alabegovic, which we didn't use in the first game. So I guess we'll see now if he's going to really be the star while Yildiz is absent for the time being. And, of course, that kid has quality going forward. So we'll see what he could do. But yeah, I mean, Spalletti, again, I just think that he was right in terms of what he was saying in the presser after the game, because Juve needs a lot more than what it has. We really do. And we have to get rid of players. Supposedly Kessie is very close to being done, which I don't think is bad, but just not my ideal midfielder that I would want for the midfield. And, to be fair, you know who I have to say had a great game, actually, was Celik, which out of all players, I'm actually saying that Celik actually had a decent game. But yeah, other than that, like I said, Juve, 3 points is 3 points. First game of the season. We wrap it up. Now we just focus on the next one, see what happens and what Spalletti can do from there, readjust things. And that's it. And hopefully Colo can finish his chances. But yeah, like you said, Dom, he definitely does need to cut a paycheck after that miss. So
yeah, man. I just got one thing to say about Juventus. They got lucky. The Frosinone hit the crossbar. That could have been
points drops. Yeah. That's why I said it. We weren't this win wasn't convincing at all. And you know, I see a lot of Juventus fans on Twitter, you know, saying that we dominated the game. I'm like, what are you talking about? We dominated the game. This was unconvincing, because if that would have went in, we would have been talking about a whole complete different game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we would have been, because this is exactly what happens. And this is the exact same thing I even said last season. I said it to you, Dom. I said I was nervous because it's 1-0. If you're going to be at 1-0, especially against teams like that, you can't be doing that, because you're just causing, Frosinone to get basically confidence in themselves to score, and try to score an equalizer. And that's what they almost did, in the last minutes, and we got very lucky at the end. So we have to learn from this game. Spalletti needs to really readjust things. Obviously, not all of our new signings were put on the field as of yet, but we'll see now. This is the second game going into it. We have Milan as match day 3, I believe. So we have to start really focusing and start actually putting in some good performances, because that was just, in my opinion, not my first, not my thing. Yeah, I get it. But you can't be. We spent 45 million. I get it. Spalletti wanted him, but come on, you're brought in for a reason to score goals, and if you can't do that, it's just giving bad vibes.
No, that
again.
miss was that.
Yeah,
miss.
That miss, bro.
No excuse.
Oh my
There's
god.
no excuse. You know what I mean? And this is not the first striker we had. It's like we're cursed with number 9s for some reason now. It's just weird. But yeah, I just didn't like Colomani's performance really that much, other than I would say, like I said, breaking down lines and stuff like that, coming back, try to link up play with Yildiz and Conceição. Other than that, it wasn't very convincing at all, and that's why Spalletti wants a different sort of profile striker as well. So we'll see what happens with the swap deals, because there's a lot of swap deals that I'm seeing that could be going on. So but I'll say that possibly for next show.
you Roma fans are saying this, but I really do think Celik is exactly the type of profile that Juventus needs, and I think he's going to be one of the most impactful players. That's not going to get credit because he does the dirty work. But like Gio said, I feel like he had an amazing performance. He had a great performance, and if it wasn't for that yellow, he wouldn't have been taken off, and Cambiaso wouldn't have came on. You could see the drop in quality, and Cambiaso used to be the golden child of Juventus, and you could see that Celik is definitely putting his imprint on this Juventus side. So
Yep.
maybe
He probably has to start right now. I guess.
Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
he started.
He's
He
been
started this season. He started the first match, so I think he's a lock-in starter. And I also think that just because he didn't work out for Roma does not mean that he won't be an asset for Juventus. I mean, it could also work the other. It has also worked the other way, right? Coop Miners, for example, worked brilliantly for Atalanta, and he turned out to be a complete bump for Juventus. So don't get it twisted, and don't get fooled that because he didn't work out for you, he won't work out for Juventus. That's all I'm gonna say, you know. And I don't know why I'm defending Juventus. I should be slandering them.
Yeah,
but
what is
I'll get back
going
to
on
my
right
normal programming here in a minute.
What the heck? I
Sometimes you got to be real, you know. Sometimes you just got to drop some ball knowledge.
I'm not trying to troll, but I think Juventus is in big trouble this year. This squad does not look. When I think about a Juventus squad and I see the players on this team, it is unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
Like Jeremy Boga at like 30 years old is crazy.
Whoa,
he was good.
calm on my boy.
Hey. I mean, I just look at this team and I'm like, this is not. I know that they're not going to have the same type of match load as they have in the past. But I look at this team and I don't know. It could be.
I mean, listen,
I think Bremer is like the best center back in Italy, and he might be able to will you if he can stay healthy. But I think that anything from the midfield moving forward after Yildiz' injury is rough, unless the super kid really turns out to be
Begovic.
Super kid. Yeah. I mean, if he ends up being worth it, then it might be. Then maybe you won't.
He didn't get a minute today.
obviously, it's only the first game. Like I said, I always say a lot of times, Serie A is always like a marathon. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that with Spalletti, he needs a little time, especially with the new players that are coming in, obviously. Lucumi, I think, is going to be a great asset in terms of building up. But building up from the back and stuff like that, and he could definitely make a good partnership with Bremer. But again, the midfield is a big problem. We still need, and I think the Spalletti should change formation instead of going with the 2 pivot, because I'm not liking that at all. Even though we have a lot of, I would say, quote unquote, on paper, firepower up front, it's just not showing at the moment.
I mean, striker's a problem for you guys, I think.
Yeah.
I know you brought in Colomani, but I don't think he's that good of a personally. I don't think he's that good of a player. And you look at
he's a good rotational piece. I've always like Colomani will get you goals in a lot of games, but it's just I just feel like that he's just not that like starter striker that I would put.
Yeah,
you know,
I feel like they have a lot of, and then you have. Are they going to keep David as well as like a?
Well, David could be on the move actually, because I was just looking at some things because it could be a swap deal going with Crystal Palace. Yeah,
I see. And then do they still have Milik? I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, supposedly we still have him, but there are talks about contract termination, so we want to get Milik out.
Gosh.
So yeah,
Crazy.
Yeah.
Dang.
Other than that, but I would say with this comment here, 3-man midfield or Sax Spalletti, give him. I mean, listen, I'm giving him this season, see what he does. If he, like I said, top 4 is the objective. You know, it's been always the objective. I believe this season, not the Scudetto. It's gonna take let's say another year or 2 to really challenge. At least challenge. Yeah, to challenge.
A year.
It all depends if this team, like I said, if it works out. If we get top 4.
I don't even give you guys a year. I'm giving you guys like 3 years.
Nah, I mean, like I said, it all depends on the new signings that we're gonna bring in. So we'll see.
You gotta look at the competition around. This is not.
Well, of course, the competition. You could say that.
That it was just Juventus, Napoli, and Roma. Like Inter are stacked, bro. It's just they're not going anywhere. So you have to be better than them. And
well, I'm not saying that we're going to win. I'm saying challenge and compete. At least try to compete for the Scudetto. I think that again, it's going to take a while.
I think you're going to need.
It's going to take a while.
And the thing is, I actually like Spalletti is a good coach. Like, he's a good coach, but I think that I'm gonna be honest. That Scudetto that he won with Napoli, I think that's given him a crazy, crazy reputation boost.
Spalletti has always been a top 4 manager before.
Yeah,
that
he always
Scudetto.
has been. Like, I remember, like, Spalletti can really get you top 4. Maybe he can have you challenge for the Scudetto, but even then, you need like a lot. Like,
Spalletti. One thing about Spalletti, he thrives on the midfield. He thrives significantly.
he needs
on
a good
I
midfield.
think,
He
in the
needs,
back line,
especially,
obviously.
you know what he needs, and
But,
this is why he needs a regista, an actual regista, not the guy that.
Well, I've been
Twitter,
saying this for a long time, that we need a proper regista. I've been saying this for the past 6 to 5 years already, that we need
because he had Lobotka, he had Brozovic, like he had these kind of registas back then.
To this comment, if you don't provide him with talented players to play a 3-man midfield, then it's not his fault. It's not his fault.
Yeah, no.
Like, you have to, like, your transfer window was okay, but your transfer window wasn't Scudetto challenging worthy. So, in my opinion, your management has to do better, and they are, because if you compare them to the last couple of transfer windows, my God, it was horrific. So they're getting there, but you guys are building a project, and it's gonna, in my opinion, it's going to take a while. I would not sack Spalletti, regardless, even if you do not make top 4. I would not, because what are you doing? What are you doing? You're doing this every single time now. Now, it doesn't work out. Sack him, get another manager, and then you're back at square one, because you're sacking the manager, but you're not getting rid of the players.
No, I just want and I agree. We need to get rid of a lot of deadwood in this team and actually get some good players on this team. It's just I just want to see progression from Spalletti, the way that he plays. Obviously, the club has to provide him with the players. I agree with that, and he needs the midfield in order to flourish in his system. But we'll see.
I think it's like when I look at the Juventus midfield, I just don't see how you do a 3-man midfield with any sort of like
I said, we don't have a proper regista. That's
like
why
he's probably doing the right thing by playing Luis and Locatelli in a double pivot, even though it's not fun, and then playing McKennie a little bit further forward. So because you don't have someone that I see that can really control the game passing wise, like like a Lobotka, like a Brozovic that he had at Inter. Like, you don't have a player like that who can move the ball around like that and control the game from the midfield. It's super important to a Spalletti team. I totally agree. 100% agree.
I hope they do go to the 3-man midfield, because they're gonna get run over. I think they're better with Locatelli and Luis, and they'll have that new kid. He'll be taking over for Yildiz. They'll switch him around. You still have Conceição, and you'll have him, and then you'll have who else? Who else you have there at the front?
Well, you have Conceição. You got
Zagrova. So you have these guys that need to prove themselves. So run a 3-man midfield.
Like I said,
and see what happens.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. You got to try something. Spalletti needs to try something new. He needs to try something different, because obviously it's not working. I mean, like I said, this game kind of is like, it gives me the vibes of last season, but we were just not clinical enough. The players have to step up. The players have to step up tremendously. I mean, you can't, like I said, you can't miss sitters like that. I mean, I get it. Conceição was a little bit, I would say, unlucky with some of his shots that he took, because he took a nice shot, and I thought it was going in. It was very close to going in. But
good question.
Other than that, not top. That's for sure. Not top. Not where I would want to be. Probably I would say like top 5, top 10, like around there. Not top 3, top 4. Get out of here.
The reason why he doesn't even have your top 3 is because of one specific individual that he loves, and he actually has a couple of jerseys with his name in the back, and it's our good old friend Lucas.
That's what I meant when I was talking about the regista. Like,
well, no, it's just no, our midfield, like I said, it just doesn't like, come on, it's just not It's not in terms
People
of
are
quality,
saying
but what
Douglas
is there?
Luiz.
Douglas
People are-
Luiz, listen, he had a great game. Douglas Luiz had a great game, but we need more than just one good performance. And, we need who's the other player on the other side. Obviously, Locatelli is doing more defensive work. I would say, but there was
Locatelli
many
was not
times
even
guys.
all that.
it wasn't even all that game either. So
Do you guys think that teams like Atalanta and even Fiorentina have a better midfield than Juventus right now?
I don't know about
You want
Atalanta.
to Tina?
Ederson, Gaetano.
Fiorentina has a good midfield.
Vertic.
We can't.
Yeah,
They
Fiorentina do have a good midfield. If it clicks, you gotta see if they click.
Yeah, definitely not like today.
because if you put those two as questionable, better than Juventus midfield, they're not even cracking top 7.
Mhm.
No, I mean, like I said, I don't rate this midfield. I think we need a better midfield than what we have now. We need quality midfielders, creative midfielders. We've been saying this for the longest time. Juventus still hasn't found that creative regista, that also creative midfielder to be playing with the regista. Like I said, it's still the same thing, and not just that, but it's just not good enough, especially from the midfield that we have. And I'm being critical on this team because I'm not liking what I'm seeing. I get if people call me negative, I don't care. It's just I'm just going off of what I'm seeing so far, and what I'm seeing is that it's concerning. The way that we're playing
Gio,
is very
isn't it?
concerning.
Isn't it the same thing that happened last season?
It's the same nonsense that we didn't qualify for Champions League. So, I mean, things have to get done, obviously. And Juventus, we create a lot of chances, but players that we all rate a lot of the Juventus fan base rates a lot, right? I'm supposed to be putting them away. So, yeah, it's just I don't know. Obviously, first game, 3 points is what matters, but still, the way that we played was not convincing to me really at all. I just feel like that it's just giving me the same vibes as last season. Is nothing new. It's like we're continuing. Obviously, the new players were not implemented, but even then, if they are, and we're still playing the same way, then we're not going to achieve our objective, which is top 4. I think everybody can. I tried to get top 4. I think everybody here can say that. Nobody's talking about top 2. Like I saw a lot of Juventus fans per day thing, this and that, especially now that Yildiz is gone. So that it completely now is out of that picture. And top 4 is now kind of at stake because now it's like, we also need our star as well, which is Yildiz. Even though I would say he's been on an injury for a while, Juve decided to keep on going with him and didn't take him in terms of his injury. So, yeah, I'm just, again, I'm not convinced. Not convinced at all. But, Juve needs to do a lot more than what we have now. So many players that Spalletti need right now. We need a regista. We need a regista. I think he needs another number 9 that has a different quality profile from Colomani. Obviously now, it depends on what formation that he's going to play. We need another creative midfielder, in my opinion. If we could get like another one other than a regista, then I would say that. And I think we need another for a back line as well. I think our back line needs another center back.
Yep.
But yeah, I think because if you lose one, you're only going to have Bremer. You know what I mean? If you lose Lukumi, if you lose Bremer, you're going to have Lukumi only. So I think we need another center back as well. Kelly, to be fair, Kelly is more of I believe he's going to play as a left back. I'm hearing, which is his natural position. So I want to see how that's going to be when Spalletti implements Lukumi, but we'll see. But yeah, I would say we need a couple more players for me to be convinced. I mean, good players, but that's it.
All right, espresso time, guys.
Yeah.
So
that's it.
let's. There's this one. We're about to wrap it up, my guys. This is one question I wanted to bring up. I want you guys to answer this because national team is a very big concern. I personally like what I'm seeing from Napoli and from Inter. Looks like we're gonna have a traditional number 9 under Esposito, and we have an upcoming good player with Vergara. So yeah, it's very this should be flip flopped around, right? Milan, Juventus, and Inter are known to, well, Milan, well, back if they, it depends how far we go back in history, but Milan, Juventus, and Inter were known to have that type of you know, a lot of Italians playing for them, and it seems that it has switched around. As you can see, Roma have 3, Napoli and Inter have 4, and then Atalanta with 7. So what do you guys think? Because this is the last comment, and then we're gonna be wrapping it up, guys.
I mean, wait, you go.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I mean, for our end, I mean, we've always fielded players from Italy, especially from our academy. And so, like, I mean, we have one of the best academies in Italy. So, like, I think we're doing our bit for the national team. And
That's right, brother. Pride of Italy, right?
yeah.
I would say they have the best academy in Italy by far, and one of the best in Europe.
Atalanta, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would
They
put them
just
up there.
churn out players, good players, all the time.
It's right up there. Like we currently have 3 academy players from our last game, and Ahanor is still on the bench if he counts. So
I would definitely put them out there with Roma. Roma also have a great
Yeah.
great
Yeah,
academy
Rome has a
as
good
well.
pipeline of homegrown players. For sure.
true.
But Milan, for the longest, have not really been doing much for the national team when it comes.
You
to
know what's ironic?
bring it up.
Inter have had more Italians than Milan, even though the club's identities and everything, it's supposed to be the other way around. Like, it's kind of funny. Like, why are Milan not having that many Italians? It's a bit, it's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, guys,
Yeah.
that concludes the show.
Yep.
Thanks for passing through the chat. Everyone that donated, thanks for showing love. We really do appreciate that. The Queen was here. Olivia was here. Shout out to Gio and his new sign. As you could see, it made me want to throw up when I first saw it, but it is what it is. But
Great sign.
big up
that's
to
for
that
sure.
sign, bro. You know.
Appreciate it.
And Ken, brother, thanks for stopping by. Stick around after the show. We're gonna talk backstage. Gio, close out the show, and let's wrap this up.
Yeah, big up to everybody as well. Big up to, of course, all the donations as well that were today. Big up to, of course, everybody in the chat. Of course, the special guest as well, Ken. Of course, Max as well, if he rewatches this as well. Big up to everybody. And, great show. And, of course, we'll be back as well soon. So big up to everybody, and we'll see you on the next one. Ciao ragazzi. Ciao.
Ciao.